Hi everybody, my name is Pascal.
And my name is Dioni.
And today we are looking at the new set 7 Lorcana cards from the set Archazia's Island. First things first, let's get the vanilla cards out of the way. Okay, these are all the vanilla cards. Great, look at this guy, nice. And then there are also some very boring cards that there's not much to discuss. Maybe that's just like 2/2s with support or something like that. So these are those. And now let's get to the more interesting stuff. So the boring stuff doesn't mean they're not going to be played. It just means there's not much to say about them. Let's start with the first one. Rhino. It's a 6 uninkable, 4/7 character, amber and steel, and it has your other characters get +2 willpower, and it quests for 2. What do you think?
Unplayable.
Okay, next. Let's go to Perdita. She used to have a good card, I remember. This one is Amber Sapphire. It's 4 inkable this time, a 1/4 that quests for 2 and has 2 abilities. The first one is Who's Next? Whenever this character quests, you pay 2 less for the next puppy character you play this turn. And the other ability is Don't Be Afraid, your puppy characters gain ward. I mean, it's cute. Maybe at some time in the future, puppies are an actual threat, like in other TCGs where tribal decks can be very good. Right now, I think it's just cute.
It's really cute. I mean, there is already a puppy stack, right?
Yeah, but is it played by anyone except for your wife? I don't know.
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Not yet. Let's move on.
Okay.
So the next one is Peg. A 3 inkable, 2/4. It's here. You're on the same page.
Oh shit.
It's a 3 inkable, 2/4 amber emerald card this time. So that's the new special thing in this set is dual color cards that have to be played in decks which have exactly those 2 colors. So this one is, well, we have a French one, but let me translate it. If you have 3 or more,
Yeah, 3 others.
3 or more other characters, you can draw a card when you exert it. And a quest for 1. What do you think?
I mean, it's inkable, but I don't like the card. First of all, you have to have like the restriction to have at least 3 others is a lot, and then you can't quest because you want to draw a card. I don't think it's gonna cut it. And also, I mean, in these colors you have like other card advantage tools, which are mostly better than that.
If it would be when this character quests and you have 3 or more, you can draw a card, I think it would be
Exactly.
great, but because you have to give up the quest to do it, it feels a bit slow.
Yes, exactly.
So the other one, also from the same IP, I think, but I'm not sure actually, but they're all dogs. Strolch. That's a very Swiss pronunciation for you there, because we have the German card in front of us. And it says, for each other character you have in play, this costs 1 less to play. And also, when you play it, you can draw as many cards as you have characters and also discard as many cards as you have characters. So you draw first. Let's say you have 3 characters in play, you draw 3 and then you discard 3. I think it's interesting. It's personally, again, it feels like it's not in a deck I would play, probably. If there is more like ways of using your discard pile or more benefits if you have a full discard pile, it could be a very interesting mechanic. Also, maybe even if you have some combo piece that works with characters and you want to draw through your library as quick as possible. The stats 2, 6 and quest for 2, that's not great.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a 2 or a 3 as strength, I get Ruby PTSD. I'm all the brawls and Medusas out there.
Sure, but to be fair, like Medusas hasn't seen like a lot of plays lately.
But it will be better with this card.
Most probably, yeah. But this card looks quite interesting to me. I can't really rate it right now, but I see like a potential in this card, maybe like as a one-off.
Okay, let's play the game. Will it be played, or does it have the chance to be played in the top 4 decks?
I think it has.
Okay, it's a yes for you. I think it has as well. I'm not gonna be the one building the deck, probably.
Me neither.
No, because you just net deck.
Yes.
Top deck Las Vegas or something. It's for sure interesting. Let's go to the next one. Wendy Darling. It's a 7 inkable, 5/7, so very strong. Evasive, also good. And quests for 2. So far, so good. And it has an ability, Tell No Tales. Whenever one of your other characters is banished, you may remove all damage from chosen character. And it's Amber Ruby. So you have to play it in an Amber Ruby deck. Do you want to?
I mean,
So like traditionally, maybe not so much anymore, but traditionally it was like a Mufasa deck. So yeah, this could be a hit from Mufasa. Wouldn't be too bad. It just feels too vanilla because it feels like the removing damage ability as it stands now is not that relevant. And a big flyer you have in other, a big evasive character you have in other characters as well, like Brave Little Tailor or something like that. So, meh. Next.
Yeah, I mean, you could build around this card, but at 7 ink, and the effect you maybe in these colors you want to use a Rapunzel for it. I don't think this will see any play.
We have to say, maybe that's something we didn't pay attention until now, but it has a lot of character types. So it's Dreamborn, Hero, Queen, Pirate, Captain.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe at some point this might be relevant. So you always have to watch out for those kind of things. Character types suddenly make a character from okay to very playable or even great.
Yeah.
Next up is
Mirabel Madrigal. She's a 3-cost inkable card with evasive. Stats is 1 strength and 3 defense or 3 life. I don't even know.
Willpower.
Willpower, all right. And has Singer 5. So
Quest for 1.
Quest for 1 is a dual ink color, so Amber Amethyst, which mostly doesn't really want to sing in this color, you just want to quest. So I don't see an archetype right now for this card.
Yeah, I agree. There are a couple of 3-cost Singer 5s already printed.
Yeah.
The next card will be 1/2. There are really good 3-cost Singer 5s out there, like Ariel, obviously, but also Gaston if you want more strength. Next one is a Singer 5 as well. It's Aurora, 3-cost inkable, 1/4. Quest for 2. And whenever you remove 1 or more damage from a character, ready this character. She can't quest or challenge for the rest of this turn. But what can she do?
Sing.
Yes, she can sing. She got a beautiful voice from one of the fairies. I don't know which one, but I hear the tale a lot of times when my daughters listen to it. She has a beautiful voice. She can sing over and over again if you heal. Me personally, I don't know a great way to exploit that. Do you? I mean, it's just great to quest and heal something and then protect her.
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, you could protect her, maybe even sing quite a lot, depending what you have on the board or what your other cards can do with her. She's a really interesting card, I think. I don't think it could see. She could be like a combo piece to something.
I agree, but she could also just be a an annoying card in like a tempo deck.
Yeah.
Always readies herself.
I mean, yes, exactly. Just quest and then ready and sing and ready again. I don't know, but I see some potential in this card. If it's gonna work out, we don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys to create a deck, so to prove me wrong.
Yeah, do that. Prove him wrong.
And then I just play my Sisu and kill it anyway, so, okay.
Well, you will play Sisu if that's the meta #1 deck.
I always play Sisu. I will make it meta.
So next up is me, Pascal.
Oh, shit.
It's a 3/3 4 uninkable, evasive, and quests for 3. This might be even in the boring pile. I'd probably just put it there because it has my name. It could be strong.
Could be strong. The artwork is also really nice.
Yeah. Amber, Amethyst, also ink colors that want questers.
Exactly. I mean, it fights the spot, the 4/4 drop spot with Genie and Rabbit, but 3/3 stats, evasive and quest for 3 is strong. That's a strong ability. It could be annoying because you can't brawl it.
No, unless Wind Ice Block.
You could smash it and then and other songs, but this one will be an annoying card for sure. I can see it being played. Also, I believe also the card qualities are so good that most of the decks will not have the problems with the ink ratios as we had in previous sets. I believe all sets will go down, like 15 was like the norm, to have 15 on inkables, and I think it will go down to like around 10.
No, and there might be decks that want to be more greedy with the uninkables because they have so many ways to
exactly
ink it. But
so the uninkable stats is maybe not that kind of a big problem in the future. In the future.
So next up we have another uninkable.
Oh, King Candy. He is a Storyborn villain king and a racer. He's a 4-cost uninkable with 2 power and 2 willpower, and he quests for 2, and he has the ability whenever one of your other racer's character is banished, each opponent chooses and banishes one of the characters. So it's basically
that is it. It's like Prince Eric, yeah, from steroids. No, but it's other racers, so he's not.
Yes, it's like Prince Eric, but different, meshed up with Lady Tremaine.
Yeah, because you cannot choose.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think it's interesting. I like it. It could also be more powerful in the future if we have more relevant racers.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this card is as strong as how many good different races will be printed.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I believe I have in my mind only one other racer which is good.
Well, let's wait.
But yeah, I'm spoiler alert. So, but let's see. As of it's now, I wouldn't play it.
No, because it's not blue and not red. Well, it's red.
It's red,
but not blue. Penny. 2 inkable. Let's say Storyborn ally. Ally will be more important in this set. It's a 1/2 and it has enduring loyalty. When you play this character, you may remove up to 2 damage from chosen character and they gain resist +1 until the start of your next turn, and it quests for 2. Yeah. The only thing that is a little bit weird to me is that you remove up to 2 damage and it's a 2-drop. So it feels like that ability won't be relevant most of the time, because in these colors, what do you have that sucked up that much damage? You cannot even play this card. What is it? 2 damage on yours. Teeth and Ambition, because of the colors. Even if you could, it would not be in the ink curve. So that feels a bit less useful than it looks.
Well, it's a 2-cost card, but it doesn't have to be a turn 2 play.
True.
You could also play this like turn 4 together with something else and heal up like 2 damage from your Smee.
I like that. So you play turn 2 Smee, even turn 3 heal the 1 damage from Smee, give him a resist, so it's a 3/3 route.
And he doesn't get like another damage.
Oh, doesn't get, okay, that's Smee's friend actually, yeah.
Exactly. So
I like that. Yeah. It says Bald's person, but no, that's Smee's person. We have a French one.
we have a French one. Alors je mets this. No, I don't speak French. So, but it's Félix Fix Jr. It's a 5 inkable card. The stats are 4/4 in the quest for 2. And each time one of your pilot's card is returned to my hand from this card, I can ready a pilot of my choice, and this pilot cannot quest any further.
Weird.
Very weird. I mean,
we will see that there are ways to. There are ways now to bring back characters from your discard to your hand. There is another way to bring back races, I think. Let's look at the next one, Thunderbolt.
Okay, so Thunderbolt is a 5-cost inkable Ember Sapphire card. That's one of my favorite ink combinations, just to say it.
What?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I just didn't have a deck so far to...
No one made a deck yet, you can...
I could enjoy it to my fullest, but it's one of my favorite ink color combinations. So this card is a 3/7, quest for 2, has Poppy Shift 3.
I like that.
So you can pay 3 to play this on any kind of poppy.
I like that.
So it's basically a poppy master. So, and he has also Bodyguard.
So what I like about this card is just the concept of Poppy Shift 3 means that maybe in the future we will have Princess Shift something and this shift and that shift. So it seems like very powerful, but they try to see how powerful it is by using a very I don't want to say bad tribe, but just like a tribe that is not as developed as princesses or other tribes. So, but very interesting.
But have you seen the artwork? Look at how majestic this dog.
Yeah, he's a very, very good boy.
Yeah.
Wonder dog. There's a little puppy.
It's a Stitch now.
It's a little puppy.
Okay.
Lucky or someone.
Right.
Okay, we have Isabella Madrigal, 5 uninkable. It's a 3/3. And whenever one of your characters sings a song, this character cannot be challenged until your next turn. And it quests for 4. It's a ally Madrigal. What do you think?
I think it's a trap card. Because, okay, so it obviously goes like in something like Steel Song or maybe the Emerald Discard song deck. I just feel like you will have to play every turn a song to make it even good. It's uninkable. I mean, let's say it would have like evasive instead of this text. Would you like it? Would you play it?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. And it's better than evasive somehow, but you still have like, do you need a song each turn, right? So therefore, I don't think I like this card that much. In a really, really aggressive Steel Song deck or Emerald.
Or maybe it could be in a Madrigal deck. Maybe there will be a Madrigal deck in the future, and this is like one of the finisher or something like that.
Could be.
They are playing with songs and Madrigal as an archetype. But me personally, I don't know how you feel, but I don't like these forced archetypes. I like to find my own ways to combine them, the cards. And if a combo or like a set of combos is too obvious, I'm like, okay. But then you play Flaversham and Popsicle, so...
They forced it.
They forced you.
I mean, I'm kind of mad that I can't play the other guy, the Fox one, the 4-drop, who returns the pop.
Mick, yeah.
Nick, yeah. I can't I just tell that's too good, so I can't play him.
I agree.
They need to bring more pops. We need more pops.
Different popsicles that do different things. Hasn't been done before. Items that have the same name but different abilities.
I would love that.
Maybe if they have a sub name like the characters do. But here we have a 6 inkable Calhoun.
Calhoun.
Is that how you Calhoun?
Yeah.
It's 5/5 Emerald Ruby. No. Amber Ruby.
Amber Ruby, yeah.
Shift 4. Whenever this character challenges another character, you may return a Eraser character card from your discard to your hand. And there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Quest for 2. Yeah. I feel like it's too early for a very competitive Racer deck, but someone might prove me wrong.
Is there a Calhoun, another Calhoun in these color combinations? Too?
Well, there will be, yeah, now.
There will be, okay.
There will be.
Oh, yeah, right.
Next up we have...
We have Lady. Lady is a 5-cost, uninkable, 4/4, with also Shift 3. And she has the ability, when you play this character, you may return up to 2 character cards with cost 2 or less from your discard to your hand. And she quests for 2. I mean, you can make like an aggressive deck in those color combinations, and this would be like, and maybe she has even like good shift targets. I think this card has potential. When I look at it this way, I curve out, and then on turn, maybe not 3, but maybe turn 4 or 5, I use this ability, return 2 characters and maybe play one of them. Could be like a nice tempo swing. I can see that, yeah.
You're probably not going to play it or her on turn 3, huh? Because either you don't have the shift target or you don't have 2 characters in your discard.
Right.
So that's always, for me, it's like if you have uninkables that you cannot play on curve with the maximum value, it always feels like you might end up in awkward spots. But it's obviously good in the late game too. It's almost like draw 2 cards.
Yeah, exactly. It's even better than drawing 2 cards because you basically know what you're getting back.
Yeah, but you're limited to
it, obviously, yes. But I mean, in this kind of deck that this card fits, I could see it also as a nice turn 5 play. So you don't have to play this on 3 to be a good card.
Agreed. Next up we have Pongo, Dear Old Dad. 6 uninkable, 5/5, and quest for 2. He's an Amber Sapphire character. And he has an ability, found you, you little rascal. At the start of your turn, look at the cards in your inkwell. You may play a puppy character from there for free. What?
Okay.
It's at least, I just like when they explore different design spaces. I like that one. And it's strong. Quest for 2. The only problem is everything that is at the start of your turn is not very good.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the ability is really powerful, but to be honest, most of the puppy cards will be not that powerful. And
for free, yeah.
Okay, you get for free like a 1/2 quest for 1.
But for free, and also if there are uninkable puppies that are a little bit stronger, you are in Sapphire, so you can ink whatever.
That's right. So maybe there's like an overcost, really powerful
this
puppy.
One. Like there is nothing there, then there isn't anymore.
Yes, and it has to survive, but it has really good stats. 5/5 is not easy to remove. This could see some play.
What's next?
what's next? It's Kenai. Kenai is a 4-cost inkable card with 2 strength and 4 willpower. He has the ability, he needs me. He needs me. So at the end of your turn, if this character is exerted, you may ready another chosen character of yours and remove all damage from them. It quests for 1. Not gonna do it for me.
Especially that 2/4 quest for 1 for me has to be a very powerful card. We just discussed Nick, I think is it?
Yeah.
Which quests for 2 is 2/4 for inkable and you get a popsicle back.
Yeah.
And no one likes it.
Sad boy.
And you can also, with the pox, you could theoretically also remove damage from something, draw another card. It just feels like this.
And so this has to survive a whole turn, and then your turn basically. So
No, because it's not exerted.
exactly.
Unless you have other ways to exert it. Why would you? Signed contract. I tried it in Bochum. We got Minnie Mouse, 2 uninkable, 1/2 amber characters, and it's a storyborn hero, and she has 2 abilities. Scatter around. Whenever you play a character, this character gets +1 lore this turn. And just one more, whenever this character quests, chosen opposing character loses strength equal to this character's lore until the start of your next turn. First of all, a lot of words. She doesn't have any lore to begin with.
Yeah.
So
Weak stats as well.
bad card.
No, it's not that easy.
It's easy.
I mean, okay, let's make like the best case scenario, right? Okay, so we play this on turn 2.
Yes.
Then on the next turn, best case scenario, you play 3 daisies.
Daisies, whatever.
Yeah, 3 daisies.
Magically, I had 4 uninkable, but enough things to do all that.
That's the best case scenario. All right. So then that means this card would quest for 3. You're probably empty-handed, and then you're just out of gas.
I thought you want to make a case for it, like.
I try to, but
And now let's go to the competing card, which is obviously the piglet, right?
yeah,
2/2, 2 inkable,
Yeah.
and quests for 3 if you just put another guy down and you have a 1-drop before that. So it just feels like, why would you choose not to play piglet over this? We'll see.
No, you're right. Dismissed. I'm sorry, Minnie. I tried to make you look good, but I failed.
Well, no, you didn't fail. Minnie Mouse failed. But maybe the next card won't. Maybe the next card won't.
The next card is Snow White. She's a 4-cost inkable 2/2, which quests for 2 and has the ability Hidden Away. Now, you cannot mess this up with Either Way, which is absolutely another card, but this one is, this character can't be challenged. This is basically evasive on steroids, right?
Yeah, it's better than evasive. Let's say if it was evasive, it would be a really bad card, right? If it was just evasive.
Yeah.
This extra bit that nothing can challenge it, does it make it good enough?
No.
Okay.
Because she's too fragile. If she would be like a 3, let's say she needs to be like a 4 or 5. Then it would be like a good card. But even then, I'm not quite sure if it would see any play.
I would have said it could have been the infamous 2/4 we just talked about, and it would be playable because you cannot kill it easily with steel, and you ink it against ruby. But even then, it's not a good card.
Yeah.
It's just. But maybe you have some Snow White synergies, hero, princess. We'll see. Someone will break the card. No, I don't think so. Next up, we have Mirabelle Madrigal, 6 inkable amber amethyst card, 2/6. She has shift 4, quest for 2, and she has the ability Her Own Special Gift. Whenever this character quests, you may return a song card with cost 3 or less from your discard to your hand. That's a card, right?
That's a card right there.
Yeah, because
Right there.
we have two relevant singing colors. Like the first one that pops to mind, obviously Friends on the other side. But it seems relevant. It seems like one of those abilities that just gets better over time. If you have more songs that cost 3 or less in these ink colors, then obviously it's going to be better. Sad thing is she's a 2/6.
Medusa, bro,
She dies to Doomblade.
basically.
But yeah, I think because she has shift, you can do it immediately. If you have a good shift target, a relevant shift target, then yeah, we'll see. What do we have next? A song, maybe?
Yes, it's actually a song. Also Amber.
Costs 2 or less?
It costs 2. Yeah, it costs 2. It's inkable. And its name is So Much to Give. So it says, draw a card. I love drawing cards. Yeah, okay, that's a good. It's a winner for me. Then chosen character gains bodyguard until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
And that's it. So basically, you draw a card to give one of your characters bodyguard. And not even one of your characters. I'm sorry. You could also give bodyguard to another character.
I think songs that draw a card and cost 2 or less can be played in if you find the right deck. I think because maybe you want to thin out your deck, so you want to find your pieces and you just need to go through your deck quickly. And of course that's better if you have one cost cards that draw you a card, but because you can sing it, maybe bodyguard, I feel, can be a lot of times more relevant than people think as well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so the next one is an Amber Sapphire, sick color combination. This card is in action. It has remove up to 3 damage from a chosen character or location, draw a card. So it replaces itself. This card could be relevant in some decks.
Which decks? Well, I know which color combination will be.
Yeah, there's actually no deck or no good deck in this color combination right now.
No one built one. Maybe there is one. Maybe there is a good one, but no one has found it in the combination of cards.
Okay, let's
That's the age-old fight between Dione and I. Did we find all the decks? I don't think we did. I think we should always look for the next best deck. But now let's look to the next card.
Okay, but what do you think about this card?
We have similar cards. We had similar cards before that cost way more and do exactly or almost the same thing. Here, one of them is a song, the other one isn't. This one is not a song, but it's so much cheaper. So, the thing is, what's the competition? The competition is Popsicle.
Sure.
Which is healing 2, drawing 1, but it has more.
So basically this is better. On its own, it's better.
On its own, but because of the relevancy of items, Popsicle in most decks is better. Maybe not in this shell. On its own, it's the better cantrip, yeah. Next, we have a 5 inkable song. Amber Amethyst, the Family Madrigal. It says, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Easy. You may reveal up to 1 Madrigal character card and up to 1 song card and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So as I understand it, if you just find one of those, you can still get that. You just get as much as you can. So best case scenario, you draw 2 cards, kind of, and you have a little bit of selection going on. But I think the big selection is the song selection. You find a song in your top 5 cards, and the Madrigal almost feels like bonus.
Yeah.
If it's just a song, is it good enough? If like a big competition, but this one would be Ariel. She looks at the top 4 cards, and you get a song. but you have a body, you have a singer, you have everything.
I mean, but Ariel is like the perfect combination with this. Ariel finds this, and then you can even sing Ariel with this. I think there's a new archetype coming in that is maybe Amethyst Amber songs.
Madrigal songs.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's forced.
It's forced, but is it bad?
Yes, it's really bad. I feel like, here's hot take. I shouldn't say that, but I feel like the movie didn't do great. And now they want to push this IP so that people think, okay, I'm paying so many Madrigal cards. Let's watch the movies.
Maybe that would be like next level.
Yeah.
Let's invent a TCG to make Madrigal great again. Right?
Well, the next one is great already. The Glass Slipper. It's 2 uninkable. And very interesting, you may only have 2 copies of the Glass Slipper in your deck. So the first deck restriction built in a card. We had other rules that made it possible to have more than 4 cards, but this one is the first that restricts the number. Search the kingdom. Banish this item and exert one of your prince characters. Search your deck for a princess character card and reveal it to all players. And put that card into your hand and then shuffle your deck. So it's a tutor for princesses.
So what princesses are really good?
Well, the way I see it, because one of my early pet decks was Amber, Ruby, Mufasa. So it's just like, okay, now I have 6 copies of Rapunzel. Yeah, that's like, I have 6 copies of Rapunzel. You might find it with a Simba bodyguard that wants to be exerted anyway. Or maybe even some turn 1 prince character. I like it. It might see play. There are very many relevant princesses out there. It could even find like a one-off Mulan to shift onto the 1-drop Mulan or something like that. Yeah, it's good to search your deck.
Yeah. Well, I love the design of the card. I think it's done really quite good. I think also I love the mechanic. You can only have 2 copies of it because there's only like 2 of these.
Well, here you go then. This is in your favorite ink combination. It is. Tamatoa.
It is.
You bring it back, you get one again.
You see my point? So I like the mechanic of the card. I like the design. I just don't know if it will be playable. I just don't know. But I'm gonna find out. I'm not saying I'm building the deck, but one of your guys is hopefully doing it.
I do it.
All right, good.
It's gonna be Mufasa with these 2.
With these 2
copies of the Glass Slipper. I wonder, as a side note, if they made it a little more rare, because you can only have 2. So you don't want to have 4 of those. You don't want a playset is 2. But that's who cares. Next up.
I didn't think they thought that far ahead.
No, probably not. No, because they're nerds too. They like math and probability.
So next up, we got my boy Cusco. It's a 5-cost uninkable, 1/4 quest for 2 with the ability, once during your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may return chosen character, item, or location with cost 2 or less to the player's hand. Then the player draws a card. Also, you need to check the artwork. Cusco is really good, really amazing. It's a really sweet, cute artwork. And I didn't know that Cusco was a whale.
I have to be honest, I haven't watched the movie.
All right. So he can be anything he wants?
I haven't watched the movie.
Okay, okay, the card itself. So you mostly want to return one of your own stuff to get max value out of it.
The cost 2 or less, of course, is a little sad. I hoped it would be power 2 or less, so you can return your bunny. Otherwise, I think you would probably play this on 6, so you can ink straight away and get value from it. So,
but what do you return though?
Yeah, what do you return?
I mean, the best value-wise card I would see would be Pop, right?
I think you would return locations mostly from your opponent. if they have annoying locations on 2, like the dwarf's mine.
All right.
Then, yeah, but what would you return from yours? Oh, there we go. There's one, I mean, it's not great, but a Pinocchio.
Sure. Jensit.
There you go.
Groom. Jensit Groom deck.
Cards, when you return it, you draw it again, you protect it. It can quest for 3. It's the Broom Cusco coming to you near Castor.
We're gonna cut this out because this will be like only in turn because we're gonna break the meta with this deck. So,
oh, we're gonna cut it out. So you have the Cusco Broom deck.
Yeah,
no one's gonna see it, but maybe they're gonna see Yago, a 4 inkable giant spectral parrot. It's a 4/6 evasive, and it has a new ability, Vanish. When an opponent chooses this character for an action, banish them, and it quests for 1. So when you choose it, no matter what you do to it, it will be banished. So actions also include songs, of course. It doesn't say non-song actions, but at least you cannot banish it with like an ice block.
Sad. That's really sad.
Yeah.
I believe this ability is stronger than it looks. Because I think they have like overpowered cards or stats to a relative easy cost. And they want to make it like worse with putting Vanish on it. But at the moment, I think nobody's playing like actions. You want the action to target something. You want to kill it. I mean,
I know one that lets a Stone Rage on, would just love this card.
Sure. But I mean, maybe they're just also pushing. If this would be like a meta deck with a lot of Vanish, then maybe you will play more cards with like you draw a card with this character against +1 and stuff like this, or the
3 damage and you draw a card,
or the 1 count quest and you draw a card, the green song, the emerald song. Anyways, this card is a genie killer or a genie.
At worst, that's the best, I think.
Yeah. But otherwise, I don't see him like being played at all.
Next up, we have someone who has a lot of followers, more than I do on this channel. Who is it?
It's the Chernoboy, Chernobog. So he is a 5-cost uninkable 2/6, which quests for 1. And the ability is when you play this card, chosen opponent choose one of his ready characters and exerts it. It doesn't ready at the start of his next turn.
I think it's a bit pricey for this cost, unless you're in a weird ink combination. You have better removal, I think.
I mean, we have Elsa at 5 inkable.
Yeah, we do have Elsa at 5 inkable even in these colors. Yeah. Let's move on. He shouldn't have that many followers anymore after this. Not this guy. That's the other guy, the Amber guy. Next up we have 4 inkable Jafar, newly crowned. Oof.
Jafar's in the house, back in the building.
That's one of those 4 inkable 2/4 quests for 2, and he has an ability. This is not done yet. During an opponent's turn, whenever one of your illusion characters is banished, you may return that character to your hand. Oh, there you go, Illusion Tribal. Meta solved. Next up we have
Hades. Hades is a 6-cost, uninkable, 4/6 character which quests for 2. He's a villain, obviously, and Storyborn deity. So he has the ability, when you play this character, you may deal 2 damage to another chosen character of yours to banish chosen character with cost 3 or less. It's an interesting card, right?
It is, but who's the competition? 6 uninkable?
Medusa
does the same thing without killing one of yours, but obviously she has worse stats and worse questing power. And then we have Lady Tremaine, worse stats, same questing power. So surely this is interesting, right?
It's interesting.
The only thing that might be a problem is dealing 2 damage to another chosen character of yours. So you cannot play it on an empty board.
Exactly.
Which the other 2 ladies in red you can. So.
Yeah. I mean, you could combine this with Prince Eric. They would love each other.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah. Agreed. I think that they have something going on there.
Yes.
They meet.
A little bromance over there.
Or more. Next up we have Madame Medusa. Speaking of Lady in Red, she's more purple than red here, but she's 4 uninkable, 3, 4, quest for 1, a villain as well. Also Amethyst Ruby, and she has Search the Swamp. Whenever this character quests, you may deal 2 damage to another chosen characters of yours to put the top 3 cards of chosen player's deck into their discard. I think it's trasho.
I would love to have Mill.
Yeah, but not in these colors.
Not in these colors, I think.
Trasho, weird design.
Yes.
Let's move on to a big guy.
So we have TK over here.
Whoa, big.
Set 10 ink, 12, 12. Quest for 3. Shift 7, like
Discount of 3, yeah.
okay. I mean, it's everything like big in there, right? He has the ability during your turn, whenever an opposing character is exerted, banish them. Just to clarify, this has to be on the field and the effect of exert has to be done to be able to banish a character.
Yeah, the grammar is a bit misleading. Character is exerted could be a state or an action. It is meant as an action when it is being exerted and not when it is exerted in general. So yeah, it has to exert while he's in play and then you can banish them. Is it good?
It's not.
Okay.
Let's move on.
I just want to say one thing. It is maybe one of those characters in the future, if you have cool ways to cheat in characters, it would probably be fun for a fun format to cheat this one in.
You're right. At the moment, we have only like 1 good cheat in big guys.
But it's limited by the colors, obviously.
Yes.
Shift 7 is like you cannot even shift it on morph because morph is not a thing in these colors. So you need a good shift target. It's difficult. It's big, and I like that they designed it, but I don't think it's gonna be very competitive.
It should cost 5.
Yeah.
Just cost 5.
No, 2. 6 inkable Madame Mim. A 4, 5 quest for 2, and she has Play Rough. Whenever this character quests, exert chosen opposing character. A little bit boring.
I mean, it plays really good with Tekka.
Yeah, it's true.
Play Tekka, quest.
Yeah. What do we have next?
I mean, yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not good. The stats 4, 5 is good stats. Maybe not for 6 because like a vanilla, compared to a vanilla, you get for 5 inkable, you get a 5, 5 that quests for 2. If it's uninkable, you get it for 4 even. So the stats are not even that great for 6 inkable. But maybe the next one will be great.
The next is a Chant Cobra. So it's a 3 cost inkable 4/4 Dreamborn Ally Illusion. It's an illusion, then it has obviously the new ability Banish. So whenever an opponent chooses this character for an action, you have to banish it. It has the ability, when you play this character, you may choose and discard a card to gain 2 lore. So this is lore out of nowhere, and as we know, it's always dangerous.
And we have also, as you said before, Vanish characters have really good stats for their cost. 3 inkable, a 4/4 that quests for 1 and generates 2 lore is obviously insane. Even the discard part you can make relevant or work against it with things like Dock or A Whole New World or whatever, so that the discarding doesn't really matter. Not sure in these colors if you... yeah, there are some cards that care about this card and even ping a damage or something like that.
But would you play it like in a Jafar deck? Jafar wheel?
I might. Just... I mean, flavor-wise, obviously it's great. And you want to get to that 12 lore soon so that you can...
One-shot kill.
One-shot kill, or one-shot win with a Whole New World.
True.
Next up, we have everybody's favorite character. We have Bucky, Nutty Rascal. Well, the other guy was nutty too. He, as all the Buckies, as we know, is 3 inkable. Always was. Always will be. He's a 3/2 and he has pop. When this character is banished in a challenge, you may draw a card and he quests for 1. Is it good?
It's trash, like every Bucky there is at the moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Next.
So next we have Raja. Raja is a 2-cost inkable 3/3 illusion. So as we know, illusions are broken. I really believe this mechanic is too good.
Okay.
At the moment. Prove me wrong, but the stats for the costs are really nice.
It's like a bad Smee, come on.
It's a bad Smee, which will
No, nothing.
I mean, it can challenge Smee,
Yes.
and he will not lose to Smee.
Yeah, it's mutual destruction.
Okay, so it's a nice card. It's a really good limited card. I don't know if it's gonna see play in general, but let's see. Okay, in the decks you are not able to play steel. You may want to see this card. I mean, in Amethyst you have like the snake on this spot, but you can't always play snake on turn 2. This is like a good alternate 2-drop.
It's faster than a snake, obviously.
Yeah.
One thing we have to say, if they cannot draw a card with whatever action they use to banish it, it's just a 1/1.
Yeah.
And 1/1s are not that bad if you're the aggressor. So next up we have Kronk. It's an Italian card, but let me try my best. It's 5 uninkable, 4/4, quest for 2. That was easy. And it has Ward. I like Ward. And it has a very interesting ability. If an effect or ability would make you discard a card, 1 or more card, you don't discard it.
We had this effect already, right?
No. We had if an opponent would make you discard. But here, it's always in your turn, in your opponent's turn, and any effect. We have to be careful here. It's effect, not cost. So if you need to discard something, let's say with the giant cobra, you may choose to discard and then gain 2 lore. If you choose not to discard, you're not gonna get any lore, and that won't change. But if the effect makes you discard, like let's say you would, not talk about Bruno, your own character, you wouldn't have to discard, you would just bounce it.
So if my opponent plays a whole new world, I just keep my hand and draw 7 name cards.
Yes.
Nice.
That's why it's 2 colors, amethyst and amber. No, amethyst and emerald, because it would be broken to play whole new world yourself, especially since it is ward and 5 cost, so it's a great singer. I think it's a cool card. It might see play. They might, maybe if not in this set, in the future they might find some very annoying combos with it where you don't discard. There is one actually coming up later in this set. Excited to see that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like discard, but I play it every now and then, like in my last video. Go watch it.
We have the next card is Mother Gotha. So it's a 3-cost inkable card, 1/4, quest for 1. It's a ruby amethyst card and has the ability, whenever one of your characters challenged, you may move 1 damage counter from a chosen character to chosen opposing character.
Do you like it?
I don't like it.
I kind of like it. In these colors you have quite strong 2-drops. Let's say the other Mother Gothel, for example, is like the very obvious choice, which is a 3/4 that enters play with 3 damage, and it's on 2. You can challenge something, kill that little merfolk they just played as well in the same go. I think it's interesting design space. The only problem obviously in these 2 colors, you have plenty of removal. You probably don't need it. We have Sven, a 5 inkable 2/6 amethyst sapphire card. Blurple, as they call it. And it has Rush, quest for 1. And when you play this character, chosen character gets -3 this turn. Is it good? I look at it and think it's not good. But then someone in the chat said it's good.
I mean, there's also some famous streamer who said this card is bonkers and really insane.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm not gonna talk about that guy, but I don't like the card neither. I think in this color it fights with Elsa, which is like a really great card, and I'm not quite sure if this -3 does really something in these color combinations. I mean, and probably he couldn't even kill it by himself.
That's what annoys me the most here. It's like it's so weak.
Okay, so we have Diablo, which is a 2-cost inkable 1/2 with quest for 1. That's the ability Evasive and Challenger 2. I mean, we have another Diablo. I think Ravensburg really likes the card, huh?
Overkill.
Overkill's Diablo.
Let's move on. We have better Diablos than this.
Bye.
We have Merlin. And I'm a little bit sad about this Merlin. I tell you why. It's a 1-cost 0/1 Merlin. Whenever this character quests, name a card, then reveal the top card of your deck. If it's the named card, put it into your inkwell face down and exert it. Otherwise, put it on top of your deck. I don't think it's bad. The thing I don't like about it is that it's dual color. It's Amethyst Sapphire. I would have liked it if we had a good Sapphire shift target for Merlin, for the Merlin that everyone hyped.
This one. I hyped it. I'm still hyping it. I still believe this card could be good. This Merlin had just to be better.
Yes, if it was just blue, I think at least it's a 1-cost and it would have been interesting. In Blurpool...
The color combination is good.
No, it is, but it just limits. The thing is, in Amethyst, we already had really good shift targets for Merlin.
Yeah.
And we don't in other color combinations. I tried to have an Emerald Sapphire deck with Merlin, and then shift Merlin, look for Under the Sea, sing it straight away, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there you can use Morph, obviously, but Morph, it would just be it would be nice to have some redundance, and there I'm a little bit sad. It's dual color. Well, let's move on.
Okay, next one we have a 7-cost inkable 3/8. He is a shift 5 evasive. Quest for 2 has the ability whenever another character is banished in a challenge, return that card to the player's hand, then the player discards a card at random. I don't know about this ability. I don't know if I want to bounce the card that I tried to challenge or destroy or banish.
No, you didn't try, you banished it.
Yeah.
It's only triggering on banish, so it feels like you give them the chance that they might still have it.
Yeah.
Or it's also yours obviously, but then you make yourself discard.
What did they try to do with this ability?
I don't know, but I bet they're very smart and we just don't see the combo.
Not yet, but someone will.
Yeah, the guy in the comment will say, hey, you guys are stupid. You can combine it with. Next up we have a 7 uninkable Elsa. Elsa likes to be uninkable for some reason. She is 5/5, quests for 2, shift 4. Whenever this character quests, you may exert chosen character. If you do, and you have a character named Anna in play, the chosen character can't ready at the start of their next turn. We have Anna, Elsa, Tribal, Frozen Tribal. I think it's cute. Maybe it will be good someday. Maybe it's even good now, but I'm not convinced.
I'm not.
It's Blurple, by the way, as well.
Yeah, and that's the only good thing about this card.
So that you're limited,
Yeah.
that you cannot put it in any deck.
Exactly.
What's next?
What's next? Next you have another Cusco, which is a 4-cost uninkable 2/2, quest for 2, evasive with quite a lot of abilities. He has the ability, we can figure this out. So at the start of your turn, you can choose each player draws a card, or each player chooses and discards a card. This card is not playable, my guys. It's not. It's a trash card. It looks good, but it's not.
But I agree, as we mentioned it before, at the start of your turn, abilities have to be very, very strong, or at least the character has to be resilient, that it sticks around. This one seems not that resilient.
I mean, look at the best card with this kind of ability at the start of the year. I would say it's like Sad Beast, right?
Sad Beast is one, and even that one, because it's 3, it's in the range of Medusa, and people don't play that much, or didn't play it that much.
Exactly.
And it is also in the 4 uninkable slot, which is very busy in Amethyst. Next up, we have a 4 inkable Anna. She's 2/3 blur pull. Quest for 2 has support and the ability Winter Ambush. When you play this character, chosen opposing character can't ready at the start of their next turn. So you freeze one of their characters for a turn.
Do you like it?
Not really. I like the art. Yeah. Next.
Okay. Next we have Donald Duck. Donald Duck is a 7 cost, uninkable, 5/6, which quest for 3, and has the ability opponents need 25 lore to win the game. That's really a new mechanic in the game. I kind of like it. It's really good. So it can give you like against aggressive decks, can give you like a whole turn, can delay the opponent. It could see some play like in a Ruby Amethyst or a Blurple deck. I couldn't see it there being maybe a one-off, but I'm not quite sure if it's gonna make the cut. It's unpredictable. So when maybe you're calculating, okay, I play this, I play this, and next turn I'm gonna win the game. And then this card comes and it changes everything, right? So it could mess up like the math of your opponents. And also, I thought mechanic. So if you have this card in play, you're at 21 lore and your opponent is at 23 lore. And then you...
Well, if you're at 21 lore, you won, because it's only opponents need 25 lore to win.
Okay, you're right. Okay, let's make it different. let's say he has also one of those in play. All right? So it's the Donald Duck meta. Okay. So then you play Be Prepared. Who wins the game?
Oh, I see. Both have one, and then they're gone. And I think whoever is the active player, it will be checked first if they have 20 lore.
Ding, 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 100 points.
Yeah. What I want to say to this card is, I think it's strictly worse than taking away 5 lore, which is in the mechanic we already had, taking lore away. Why not just take away 5 lore? Because then even if he is banished, the lore is still gone. It feels like it's just a worse version of taking lore away. So it looks interesting when you read it, but it's a worse version of taking lore away. That's why I'm not convinced.
I get it.
Next up, we have the Queen. 4 inkable, 4/3, quest for 1. Choose an opponent and then choose 3 cards in that opponent's discard and put them underneath their library, and then you gain 3 lore. If you chose a princess, then you gain 4 lore. What's going on here?
Yeah. So this is a late game card, right? So this card pile has to be stacked. That this card can do anything. I mean, what happens if you can't remove 3? Then you can't play this ability, I guess.
Next up, we have
Panic. It's time to panic. It's a 4 cost inkable 2/3, which quest for 2 and has the ability. When you play this character, you may move up to 2 damage counters from chosen characters to chosen opposing character. So it's like a bell, right?
It's a smaller bell. Next up, we have a 2 inkable Archimedes. It's a 2/2, quest for 1. And this Amethyst card has, whenever an opponent chooses this character for an action or ability, you may draw a card. One of the rare characters that costs 2, and, well, no, there are many characters that can draw you a card that costs less. I don't know. It's not great.
No, it's trash.
Next.
Next, we have Mufasa. Mufasa is a 7-cost inkable, 5/7, shift 5, evasive, resist 1, quest for 2. It's just a bad card. It's a cool design, but it has good abilities, good set, but it's a bad card because it's overcosted for what it does.
It should be an illusion, then it would be great.
It should be an illusion, which would cost like 3.
We have an action next up. Magical maneuvers, a 2 inkable action that says return chosen character of yours to your hand, exert chosen character. Could be something if you don't want to play the Madame Mims instead.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, me too. It reminds me of Bounce. I really like it. I know it's too uninkable, but when it came out, I really liked it and thought everyone is going to play 4 bounces in their decks.
Yeah.
We did, we tried, and it was not it. Maybe it's the same here, maybe it's better because it's inkable. What's up next?
Next is This Is My Family, a 2-cost Amethyst Song, uninkable, gain 1 lore, draw a card.
Great card.
Great card, can't complain, can't say anything, let's go on.
We have a 2 uninkable action. Every player draws 3 cards.
I would love my opponent to play this card. I would love if my opponent plays this card.
Let's put it this way. It feels to me like the Amethyst Chromicon. It feels like that. So you're hyper aggro. You don't care about your opponent's cards. You just want your characters go and quest and find lore and tell you all the stories they heard on their quests.
Maybe Mill, it's getting closer to it now. We have the Chromicon and we have this card. Then we force our opponent to draw cards each time.
Yeah.
So purple still, Mill.
I think it's a deck.
Mark my words.
What's next?
What's next? It's Restoring the Crown. It's a 6-cost uninkable action, which says exert all opposing characters whenever one of your characters banished another character in a challenge this turn, gain 2 lore. So this card could be a breakout card in a stalemate situation, which nobody really wants to quest or attack, and is just building up his board to make a one-shot turn kill to move on. And this card could prevent the situation or even put you in a really good situation because you are the one to decide the timing of it and what you attack, and you gain lore.
You probably gain some lore, and then you have probably Calhoun that gains another 2 lore, and she wants stuff to be exerted. A lot of times when you play her, people do not quest or don't use their characters because they don't want to give you those 2 lores.
Yeah.
This could really...
I could see this as a one-off, right?
Maybe even a 2-off in these colors. You can recycle cards easily, discard your own cards, which is more and more popular as well. Yeah, interesting. We have a 3 uninkable item, Amethyst Coil, and it has magical touch. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may move 1 damage counter from chosen character to chosen opposing character. Probably not good enough. I like the shifting damage mechanic, but yeah, if it sees play, it would probably be blurple, right? Because you want to ink as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. We move on.
Okay.
Okay. We have Hiro Hamada. Cut this out. We have Hiro Hamada, which is a 3-cost inkable 3/3 Storyborn Hero Inventor. So
Hero is a hero.
Nice. So when you play a Floodborn character on this card, draw a card.
So if you have either a big hero or maybe another card that will be coming up soon. The thing is, it's 3 costs, and it's best case it draws you a card later. The stats are okay, but not great. We have a lot of 2-cost characters that have these stats with a slight disadvantage, but still. Yeah, let's move on. Shere Khan is a 4 uninkable tiger that is 4/4. It is a lot of 4s here. Quests for 4 as well. And if you have 4 cards in your hand, you have to discard 4, because you have to discard your card when you play this. Unless
you got the boy up here.
Yeah, Kronk. Then of course you don't discard, because this is not a cost, this is an effect that is triggered on play. People say this is gonna be a good card in tempo decks. I agree. You have an empty hand anyway, or you don't discard because of some effect, probably not. Or you don't really care if you have that one little thing less.
I don't think it's a good card. I think it's in the setting, set up to be good, and then it's probably just gonna die when you quest for 4. But maybe it's good enough. You played 4 ink, discarded your hand, gained 4. I'm not quite sure.
Not sure if you discard your hand though, because you might have, you inked 4 and you probably played a couple of characters as well in turn 1, 2, and 3. If you have 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, 2 drop or 3 drop or 2 2-drops.
So the next card is Basil. Basil is a 6-cost inkable 3/6, all right? With the ability, whenever discarded to quests, opposing damaged characters gain reckless during their turn. It quests for 3.
Similar to Mother Gothel, probably sees the same amount of play.
No play.
Mad Hatter, 6 inkable Emerald Ruby. It's a 3/5, and whenever a damaged character challenges another character, you may draw a card. And this is interesting because it's not yours, it's just a damaged character. So it is like the old Mad Hatters, when they get challenged, you draw a card, but this time you also draw cards when you challenge. So it's a mix between Queen of Hearts and Mad Hatter. Yeah, Scar has a similar ability, like the Emerald Scar. Could see play, I think.
Not gonna happen.
It's probably too expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
Because by that time, you're not worried about drawing cards, you want to win the game.
All right. So next up it's Yokai. It's a 2-cost inkable 1/2. Quest for 1. It has the ability you pay 1 less to play characters using their shift abilities.
Yeah. So you play 1 drop, 2 drop, and in turn 3, you play 1 that costs 4 to shift on the 1 drop. Okay, we have Queen of Hearts. 5 uninkable, 2/6, shift 3, but couldn't go in the Yokai deck because it is Emerald Sapphire. This one is Emerald Ruby. And quest for 2, and she has an interesting ability. Whenever another character is played, put a damage counter on them. Yeah, interesting. I think there are a lot of cool ways to use it where you want to damage your own stuff. Mad Hatter, obviously the one we just had before, is like an obvious one. Annoying for your opponent if they play a lot of 1 willpower characters.
Yeah.
Could find a spot somewhere. These colors, these ink colors, are not very much explored. So next up we have
Donald. Donald is a 2-cost uninkable 1/1 quest for 2. So each time this character gets challenged, you can return an action card from your discard to your hand.
But that action card cannot be a song. Otherwise, I think cool, cheap, and you get actions back. Could be interesting, especially as we mentioned before. Things like that can suddenly be really good if that one action that maybe costs 1 or 2 that is relevant in this color is printed. So even if it's not playable now, I don't know if it is, it might be playable in the future, because getting stuff back is great.
The only one thing I don't like is that it is restriction to non-songs, because I could see playing this on 2, maybe sing, and then he has to challenge it, and then you get the song back. This would be like a really cool value. But as it's not a song, I'm not too fond on it. But anyway, let's move on.
We have a 7 inkable Hiro Hamada. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I haven't seen the movie in years. It's a 4/6 that quests for 3, shift 5, and it has you can be way more. Your flatborn characters that have a card under them gain evasive and ward. I like it. I'm not saying it's great or playable or competitive, but I like it. It itself might have ward. It is in colors where you have morph. And evasive and ward is strong. Yeah,
the ability is really strong. Yeah, I agree. It's really strong. Ward and evasive, what can you do? Just be prepared.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you're getting out, but I think the setup is quite hard to achieve.
Shifting a character on top of
in these color combinations, like
more.
Yeah, maybe. We will have to try.
If it's not a competitive deck, it will be a fun lean deck. We have next
a lady. It's a 1 cost, 1/2 quest for 1 with the ability Dog's Life. While you have a character named Tramp in play, this character gets 1 lore. Plus. Boring. Let's move on.
We have 2 inkable Isma, 2/2 quest for 1, and this emerald character has. When you play this character, you may draw a card and then choose and discard the card. It's basically Cinderella, Steel Cinderella. You would only play this if you have relevant shift. And even then, it's not great.
Next one is Pacha. Pacha is a 3 cost inkable 3/2. Quests for 1 and has the ability, as long as you have more cards in your hand as your opponents, this character gains 2 lore, though it quests for 3.
Yeah, I can see it in Amethyst, Emerald, but
I could see it like in a discard deck, right?
Discard deck or a heavy draw deck where you have all these followers and stuff.
I mean, the problem of discard decks is that like they can't quest quite fast enough to sometimes make value out of the hand control stuff, right?
No, the problem with discard decks is they're annoying. So we have next up 6 uninkable Baymax, 5/5 quest for 2, and a really cool ability. We have universal shift for it can shift on any other character. Yours, of course, not on yours. And when you play,
Maybe it's not universal, right?
It's not quite universal. When you play this character, if you use shift to play him, remove all damage from him. So maybe this is not strong enough yet, maybe. But with, let's say, with the hero, this would also be warded and evasive. You remove the damage. I just think it's a really cool design space again with the puppy shift and now the universal shift. And it could, even if you find songs that are relevant that cost 6, you can use this as a definite turn 4 singer or something like that.
The problem is also again the color combination, right? So it restricts.
It's Emerald, Sapphire, yeah. Yeah, what's next?
Next is Twilly and Twilly Doom. It's a 5 cost inkable 4/4 which quest for 2. It has the ability Another Recitation. Whenever this character quests, you may return chosen damaged character to their player's hand. Nah, it needs a set up. It's not bad, but I don't see it.
We have a 3 uninkable Mr. Smee. He is Emerald and Steel, and it's a 3/3 quest for 1. And he has, whenever you play an action that isn't a song, you may ready chosen pirate character. Oh, okay. What? It's a captain, maybe that's relevant. If you play the other Smee, pirate, captain, villain, because it's a captain, you don't really need to ready the other Smee for it not to get damage. I'm sure it's not bad, but it's a little bit boring.
The good thing is, I mean, it's you can maybe make like some double questing because it can take characters you already can quest again.
Yeah, and you have this Donald that if you have a captain, it quests for 2 more, I think. And I think it's probably strong with this guy because this is a captain, it readies it, it can quest again or sing or whatever he wants to do. But yeah, I'm saying I can see that this might be good.
Let's move on. Okay, we have Daisy Duck. It's an 8 cost uninkable card. 6/5, good stats, quests for 3. It has the ability Foul Play. Once during your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, chosen opponent chooses one of the characters and returns that card to their hand. That's quite the mechanic. It's a good ability.
It's a hero pirate captain as well.
Yeah. I just don't like effects that are random. So random for me, it's when you cannot decide. So
it's just worse than random. Your opponent can choose. Exactly. So it's worse than random. Obviously, it feels to me like you can only play this with a Sapphire. This might as well be an Emerald Sapphire card in my book because first of all, it's 8 uninkable, and it triggers on inking a card. So
and only once a turn.
Oh, it's only once, so it doesn't even help to have Sapphire.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay, bad card. We have 8 inkable. This time it's inkable. John Silver, a 6/4, quest for 2. And he is a villain, an alien, a pirate, a captain. He's everything. And he has drawn to a fight. If an opponent character was damaged this turn, you pay 2 less to play this character. Okay, so he might be just 6 uninkable. He has resist 1, and I ain't going soft. Whenever you play an action that isn't a song, again, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. So, let's say you have Fire the Cannon deals 3 damage. Or a little bit better, you can deal 2 damage and then 1 damage to something else. Just makes, I mean, there are some relevant non-song actions in these colors. It just seems very expensive.
Just the first ability stack.
If an opposing character was damaged this turn, you pay 2. No, I think if any opposing character was damaged, it just checks. It just checks. Okay. I believe. If that's not true, tell me.
We have another tramp. It's a 2 cost, 1/3. Quest for 1. It has the ability Hey Pitch. If you have a character named Lady in play, you pay 1 less to play this character. And then it has another ability No Time for Wisecracks. When you play this character, chosen character of yours gets 1 strength this turn for each other character you have in play. I don't know about this card. So
best scenario, you play it for 1 in turn 2 because you have a 1-drop lady, and then you might be able to play another 1-drop. So it tells me that you need to play a lot of 1-drops to make it really cool. And then, especially because you want to have a lot of characters. And
I mean, crab is quite good, right? It's like somehow a crab.
So is he in play? No, each other character you have in play. So turn 2, it would just be +1. Turn 3, maybe +2. Yeah. Crab is good, but Crab has bounce shenanigans.
Yeah.
Because it's leaving play as well, and then you get the pump.
Yeah, true.
We have a 4 inkable King of Hearts, not the Queen, it's the King. He's tiny, and he's an ally king. 3/3, quest for 2, and damaged characters can't challenge your characters. They cannot.
I kind of like this card. I don't know if it's good, but I like the mechanic.
Yeah.
You could have like a ping deck, but then also you have to be like ahead. So maybe you are the one who has to challenge anyway. So then the effect has no value.
Switches off Scar. You can only attack once. Not super relevant.
All right, next one. So we have Anastasia, a 3 cost inkable 3/1 bossy stepsister. Whenever this character is challenged, the challenging player chooses and discards a card.
And she quests for 2. That's like your Flynn Rider, your Merfolk, and then this on 3. The good thing is 3/1, so not only do they discard a card, but
trade more.
In many cases they do trade as well.
Not like Flynn and Merfolk, right? But on 3 you want to play Prince John, right? Anyways.
Yeah, you shouldn't play Prince John on 3.
You shouldn't?
No, it's discard. We have 6 Inkable Pete. 5/5, shift 4, quests for 2, and while this character is exerted, opposing characters can't exert to sing songs, and your pirate characters gain resist +1, and he is a villain pirate, not a captain. Didn't quite make it. Obviously you can shift it on the Pete that is the referee that is played already.
It's good on the curve. It's like...
Yeah, then you have a 5/5 that quests for 2 in turn 4. You can sing stuff relevant in these colors as well.
I think it's quite good.
Yeah, it could be.
I think it really goes well into that curve. Well, you don't always want to play Pete on turn 3.
But it's not the worst. If you do, it can control the board.
Exactly.
It can switch off random actions you didn't even think about. Well, you did, I don't. I just played and think, oh yeah, you cannot play, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a good card. Emerald Steel is probably where you would play this card anyway. That's where you have a lot of Peace, some in Ruby, but most of them are in Emerald and Steel.
Next one is a Lady Tremaine. A 6 cost, uninkable.
A red one?
No, it's Emerald. It's a 3/3, quest for 2. Untest the ability, that's quite enough. Return chosen damaged character to the player's hand, then each opponent discards a card at random.
The first time I read this, I didn't read the damaged. So if it's damaged, we don't have to talk about it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Let's move on.
So we have a song, a 1-cost inkable song. He's a tramp, and it does. Chosen character gets +1 this turn for each character you haven't played. Oh, you don't draw a card. You make a thing bigger, stronger, but that's it. If you have song synergies, maybe, but most 1-cost songs that don't draw you a card.
This is just an illusion killer. This is an illusion killer.
If he would draw a card, it would be a good one.
Yeah, but it is still because illusions are gonna take over.
They're not.
So next is the Return of Hercules. So it's a 5-cost inkable action card. Each player may reveal a character card from their hand and play it for free.
What would you want to play with this? Because it costs 5, so it has to be something way bigger than 5, right?
I can see like Ruby cards being good with this. So like bringing in Maleficent, like something like this. But
a dragon.
A dragon, yeah. But the problem is, as you are the active player, I don't know how it exactly works. If it's really put like together in, then the ability stacks, and then you can choose. Yeah,
I think
so. He gains basically no value out of it, so unless he has like a ward character in the end, right?
Okay, now that's a very interesting example, because if you use the dragon, then basically what it would say is 5 inkable, choose a character that costs 9 or whatever the dragon is, play it for free, but it has no effect. But well, you know what I mean? It's like you have a 7/5 that quests for 2, and it killed something, but you also gave him something. He discarded the card, almost like, it's not bad, he discarded the card.
It could be like also a Caesar, right? Which affects the board individually again as well.
And he might, in these colors, he might not even have something in his hand.
The big Tamatua, I could see in this color combination, I can see it as well. And you can play, before this, you play Nothing to Hide. So you check what's the worst thing that could happen.
Agreed, okay, that's very cute. But why do you need like a discount of 3 in Sapphire?
Because it's tempo. Yeah, I mean, you could play this card like on turn 4 on a regular base.
Okay. Next up, we have a 3 uninkable action that looks dangerous. Let's see if it is. It's Ink Geyser. Each player exerts all the cards in their inkwell. Okay. Then each player with more than 3 cards in their inkwell returns cards at random from their inkwell to their hand until they have 3 cards in their inkwell. So it bounces randomly all the ink until all players have 3 ink exactly, and they're exerted.
This will be a card. It will be trash, really trash. But everybody needs to figure out it is trash, or it's going to be like meta warping, that even to this extent that it will cut off some of the decks to be playable. But also it just depends on the nature of these decks, because at first I thought you would play this like an aggressive deck shell, prevent the opposing player to go over to like 5 ink or 6 ink, so he will not be able to play stuff like Be Prepared or Grab Your Swords or his big stuff. So, but this is also like a lot of commitment, so you have to be really aggressive. And then what happens if you play against other aggressive decks which can hold up? So you lose a whole turn and give them a new cards, and they can handle your board. So in this situation, I think this card is only really good against slow control decks, or even then it won't be like really good, because they can ramp up again quite well, and maybe you want to do anything else on your turn 3 instead of playing this, because this costs you your whole turn as well. You cannot sing it. Also, I think you can play this card in a control shelf itself, because you could play like the cowbell deck, and you can just play
fish balls and stuff.
Yes, and you can gain like value when you're ahead on the board. When you stabilize the board, you just play this card. You have a lot of big guys out there in Conquest, and if you reset his ink, that he will not be able to catch up.
Yeah. All I can say is I think it looks better than it is. Like when you first read it, you think, oh my god. But I don't think it's gonna be a problem. What's next?
Next we have Queen of Hearts. It's a 2-cost inkable 1/4 with Royal Pain. While this character has damage, she gets 3 strength more.
So I put it on the not boring section here, because I thought potentially it's a 4/4 for 2.
Yeah.
If you find the right way to play it, that's why I thought it was interesting, but there's not much more to say about that. Potentially a 4/4 for 2, cool. We have, reminiscent of Mother Gothel, which is a 3/4 for 2. This is maybe even a little bit better.
You think? I kind of think the opposite.
Well, it depends what your shell is. If you can consistently put damage on stuff, then I felt like Mother Gothel is really weak against steel, because you need to set, unless you can play it in one turn, Gothel and Rapunzel, but you need to set it up and then hope that they don't ping it for 1. And this one you play...
It's kind of safe against.
It's super safe against steel, and if you have like your Teeth and Ambitions, you kill something, you attack for 4. So it's maybe not better. Like the rock, paper, scissors, this can be better against some decks.
Sure.
We have the Matchmaker, 4 inkable, 4/3, quest for 1. Ruby character that has, whenever this character challenges another character, each opponent loses 1 lore. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
But not exciting as well.
No.
So next up we have Denahi. It's a 3-cost inkable 3/2 Storyborn. He has Reckless and he has Resist 2. So I think I kinda like it. The problem is Reckless guy don't quests. But in this kind of deck, you probably want to challenge anyway, so he could see some play.
We have Stabbington Brother, 4 uninkable, 3/4 Rush. Your other character's named the Stabbington Brother, gain Rush. I bet these are the ones we have so far. I just thought throw 3/4 Rush for 4 is not super bad. If you have other Stabbington brothers, then maybe it's even. Let's move on.
Yeah, even if it would be inkable, it would not be playable, right? It should be like 4/4 inkable rush, and then I would play it.
Then you would play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a small Maui.
Yeah.
At that point.
Exactly.
What's the next one?
The next one is a Ruby Sapphire 9-cost inkable bell with 7/7 quest for 3, has shift 7, has an ability salvage. For each item card in your discard, you pay 1 less to play this character using her shift ability. This deduction only counts for the shift ability, which makes it instantly worse. Okay, then we have a second ability. Whenever this character quests, you may put up to 3 item cards from your discard on the bottom of your deck to gain 1 lore for each item card moved this way. I don't think this card is any good. I want my items to be in the discard and not under my deck. So I don't see the value in playing this card.
Well, the value is best case you play her, let's say, turn 4, and then you quest for 6 in turn 5. And it's a 7/7, and then she will still continue to quest for 3. So
sure, but I mean, in this color combination, that's not what I really wanted to do. I want to control the board and make.
If you play control, maybe it's a different shell. We have Cybog, I guess.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. 2 inkable, 1/2. This character gets +1 for each other character you have in play. Okay. So what is this? This is like, it's actually just a worse Gaston, no?
No, it's better than Gaston because it has not a reckless.
It's not reckless, but
it can quest for 1.
It can quest for 1, but because it's strong, you probably want it to control the board. Would you not just play Gaston, which is acting like having 4 characters in play already because it's a 4/2?
Maybe. Let's move on. So next one is Beagle Boys. It's a 4-cost inkable 3/3, which quests for 2 and has the ability Hurried Up. Whenever this character quests, chosen characters of yours gains rush and resist +1. This is really nice. It fits really well into my Maui Half Shark. So I can play this on 4, on turn 3, on turn 4 I play something irrelevant, and then on turn 5 I play my Maui Half Shark. Quest with this dude, give it rush and resist, and gain instant value. I kind of like this card.
Yeah, I think it's strong with the shark, of course. Just giving rush to things seems very relevant, but you don't want to waste the spot necessarily with like not getting value out of it. Like some items, you can use some items and then you get value out of the items. This way you have a solid body quest for 2. You give it resist. It just seems good. Yeah,
it seems good.
We have Li Shang, a 3 uninkable ruby steel card. It's a 2/3 that quests for 1. It can challenge ready characters, and when this character is damaged, it has +2 strength.
It's quite nice.
It feels like they just want to keep the challenging ready characters in the uninkable slot, mostly, not always, but it feels like it would have been nice to have an inkable way of challenging ready characters, but I think it's still okay.
I think the ability to challenge, or be able to challenge ready characters is really powerful.
In these colors especially.
Yeah, exactly.
What's next?
Next is Beast. It's a 5/5, cost 6, it's uninkable, quest for 2, it has ability I've Had It. So you can exert it, banish 2 of your items to deal 5 damage to chosen character.
Also exert it, pay 2 ink,
yeah,
and banish 2 of your items.
It's unplayable in my eyes.
Okay, we have Mushu. Finally, 5 inkable, 4/4, quest for 1, and he has 2 abilities. The first one is whenever one of your characters challenges, they gain resist 2. During that challenge. That's great.
That's amazing.
And the other one is during your turn, whenever one of your characters banishes another character in a challenge, gain 2 lore.
This is probably, as for now, the best card we had in this set.
In this set or in these colors?
Both.
Okay. Yeah, it's. I think it's strong. I hope it makes Ruby Steel one of the decks.
This card helps quite a lot. Nice. Okay, next one we have Morris. Morris, it's a 5/2, 4-cost inkable character, mentor, inventor, storyborn, quest for 1. He has the ability, how on earth did that happen? So when you play this character, you may banish chosen item of yours to draw a card. If the banished item is named Morris Machine, you may also banish chosen character with 2 or less. So this is quite an interesting card. It's basically a Hiram, not that good obviously, because the toy maker is on top of everything else, but the ability to banish something if it's the right item.
Yeah, the item is a 3-cost item, which is a little bit of a bummer, but the interesting part about this item is when it's banished, you may return an item card with cost 2 or less from your discard to your hand. This way you draw the card, banishing your Maurice's Machine, get back a popsicle or something like that, which enables you to draw another card, and you can banish something. And he's a 5/2, which is great against non-steel decks. You get in a trade at least. No?
Yeah. You know what I like most of this card is, I think this could be like a mirror breaker card, because in the mirrors, like Ruby Sapphire mirrors, when your opponent plays a Hiram and you have your own Hiram, you cannot play your own Hiram. You have first to handle his Hiram. So you cannot let him draw 4 cards out of a Hiram, otherwise you will be behind. And this card allows you to keep up, you draw 1, but you kill him. So that's the best case scenario. I see it in the mirror.
Yeah.
So this could be a mirror breaker card.
Only for Ruby Sapphire, of course, because it might as well be Ruby Sapphire, because Maurice's Machine is a Ruby Sapphire card. Goofy, 7 inkable, 7/6, quest for 1, evasive. And whenever this character challenges another character, your other characters get +1 lore this turn. We had similar cards like this, like the Donald Duck. I think it's too slow. Why not just 7 ink? You're 1 away from a Mickey Mouse. That quest for, what is it, 4 or something?
Yeah.
What's next?
Next is Lyle Tiberius Rourke. That's strange too.
It's live now.
It's just Lyle. It's an 8-cost inkable 6/4 quest for 3. Has the ability Explosive. Once during your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, deal 2 damage to each character in play. This card can be really good. Most of the time it will be really good. 2 damage is not bad. It's like a grab your swords, but to everything. In combination with a fire, you can deal even more. Like in a turn you can deal even 4 damage, and while you have pops, you can heal this up. Maybe you have Baymax, you can heal this up, so this one will survive.
I mean, if you are playing Sapphire, you might even have Cogsworth, and he only takes 1 damage. And
right,
of course, Cogsworth on its own, he can only take 2 loads, but that's still 4 damage to everything.
Yeah.
And then you can heal Cogsworth up or whatever. Yeah, it could be a card.
The only thing I think it's a little bit too expensive.
So that's why
because you have better options in those colors, right?
It would have to be Sapphire. It feels like, yeah.
But then if you're already Ruby Sapphire, you have B-Prep, you have Sisu, you have Scar, whatever. So do you even need this then?
Maybe not needed. Depends on what's played. Maybe you have some synergies with damage.
Yeah. Maybe finally it's time for a paddy deck. The heal 1, gain lower. You know, this card there. I don't know. Maybe someday. Not by me.
Yeah.
Maybe this guy.
I try everything, and then never play it. Just online against AI. 7 inkable Mulan, 5/6. The quest for 2. Shift 5, evasive, great, and an ability. Whenever this character challenges another character, your other characters gain. This character can challenge ready characters this turn. So it enables all your other characters to challenge ready characters. Yeah, they really want to push the ability of Ruby Steel to challenge stuff, because if you cannot challenge stuff, it's not a great deck. And that's another way. It's probably a bit too expensive.
Next up we have Baloo. Baloo is a 6-cost uninkable 5/4. Quest for 2 has the ability Fight Like a Bear. Your characters with 7 or more strength can't be dealt damage. The first thing that pops up in mind, Maui Half Shark, hello my friend. So together with this, he would not take any damage. But is it good enough though? I don't think so.
6 uninkable is also one of those slots that is very busy because of... And let's move on. For inkable Radigan, 3/3 and quest for 1, and he has the ability whenever you play an action while this character is exerted, gain 1 lore. Maui, but worse because he has to be exerted.
Yeah, it's not a good card.
No,
not gonna make it. Next we've got Company. It's a 3-cost uninkable action. Ready all your characters, they gain Reckless this turn. They can't quest and must challenge if able. Nah.
we have 7 inkable action out of order. Banish chosen character. So it's an inkable Dragonfire.
Yes, so we have another deal of this card, also 7, but you draw a card, but I think it's uninkable.
It's uninkable, yes, yeah. But you draw a card, yeah. Which one would you rather play?
They draw a card.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play neither, obviously, but
the other one is better, right? Drawing a card and banishing a character is better than just, even if it's uninkable,
I would still prefer like Dragonfire over it, obviously.
Both of them?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, then we have Unconventional Tool. It's an item, cost 1, and it's Ruby. It has the ability Fixed in no time. When this item is banished, you may pay 2 less for the next item you play this turn.
Hiram, shenanigans, play something.
Do you remember the deck, the Ruby Sapphire deck, which won Bologna, DLC Bologna?
With all the crazy...
It was like a crazy item decks, a little bit unconventional. I think this item here can find a home in a type of those decks.
I mean, I would love to see it, but it just feels underwhelming right now.
It feels really underwhelming, but I can see it has like combo potential.
Yeah, in the future. Yeah, that's one of those cards again. Just watch out, in the future it might come back. Just like Maurice's Machine. We talked about this one. When it's banished, you get an item back that costs 2 or less from your discard, and that's like something goes into the discard, something comes back. Yeah. That can always be very powerful, especially this one with the Maurice, of course, that banishes it. We'll see if that line will be played or if it's too slow.
So next up, it's the Devil's Eye Diamond. It's a 2-cost inkable item with the ability The Price of Power. If one of your characters was damaged this turn, gain 1 lore. You have to exert it to use this ability. So
we had gaining lore items in the past. Some saw play, like the flute.
Yes.
At some point, even the spell book. This one, of course, you have the condition that you need to have a damaged character. No, it has to be damaged
this turn. Yeah,
I don't see it.
No, I don't see it as well.
We have a 4 inkable Clarabelle, 3/3, quest for 2, and she has support. Your other characters with support get +1 strength. Okay, they like their support mechanic. Maybe it's a little bit underplayed support, but it just doesn't feel interesting or strong.
I don't think it's good. The stats are not that bad, but I don't see.
You know what I always thought with support was the Amber Song that can banish something that has strength 5 or more.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm so clever. I play support character and then I can make your character bigger.
Yeah.
And banish it. but it's still bad. The best support card.
Yeah, are trash.
No, the best support card is not a support card. It's the Queen that gives something -4 and something +4.
Yeah.
That's on quest. It's so much better than support.
You're right. Anyways, good thinking. The next card is Scrooge McDuck. It's a 4-cost inkable 4/4. It quests for 1, but it has 2 abilities. It has put it to good use. So it says you may exert 4 items of yours to play these characters for free. And then it has a second ability, Fortune Hunter. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal an item card and you put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. What do you think about this card?
It has a high ceiling. Your useless items pay for this, so you have even more ink. And then you get another item. And it's crazy. It's a 4/4 that costs nothing. But on the other hand, you really have to build around it to make it good. That's my only concern. There used to be Scuttle that looked at the top 4, and Scuttle was really only good when you had 20+ items.
Okay, but the big difference is this dude is a 4/4, and the color Sapphire lacks in power sometimes. It has a good card advantage, but sometimes you miss the power. Yeah. I believe this card is exactly what Sapphire needed.
Because it was so underpowered before.
It was too underpowered before. It still is underpowered, so Ravenclaw keep printing them.
Yeah.
Keep making Sapphire great. So anyways, I think this card is really good. I really like the mechanics. I like both abilities. You can play this, normally you play this anyways on turn 3, then you have a turn 3, a 4/4 card, which maybe or maybe not found you your next item. It doesn't matter. If you didn't find your next item, it got you closer to this item. It's a 4/4, it's only about, in my eyes, the 4/4 stats for on turn 3, with upsides later on that you can play it for free.
It would be insane if you could just use items to make it cheaper.
This would be overpowered.
Well,
I tested on some platforms this card already a little bit, and it was really good.
I believe you. The other one that I think might also be really good is Belle. It's a 3 inkable 3/3, and during your turn you may banish chosen item of yours to play this character for free. Just 1, and she quests for 1, so it's a turn 1 3/3 that quests for 1. That can sing songs.
It's a really nice tempo card.
That costs 3. So, and it's a Belle. We have different shift possibilities for Belle, but when you play Blurple, you have the Belle that shifts damage. We have the Belle we just discussed. Just feels like a turn 1 Belle, 3/3, quest for 1. Feels good. You look at this like a 1-drop that you mulligan to get this, and if you don't have it, then you probably ink it unless you need a board presence.
Yeah.
It might also just be like a Pete that does nothing, like a 3/3.
Exactly.
Yeah. But even sometimes just having a 3/3 in these colors is not bad.
The only problem with this card sometimes is the cannibalism of the items. Sometimes you just need food for your Hiram, because we all know Hiram is a really hungry dude, and he doesn't like when his food is getting snapped away.
What's next?
Next is Monsieur Dark. I don't know this card in English, so it's a 1-cost 1/2. Each time he goes to quest, you can banish an item to draw a card. So it's basically a mini Hiram. So another one who sits at his table and wants to eat from his food. I don't like him. Get him out of here. I don't like him.
You're the expert in Sapphire, so I just trust you that it's trash.
I mean, you played on turn 1, right? So it challenged already like your pops and items you want to play on turn 1, and then it doesn't have any effect. So you can play in turn 1, play your pop on turn 2, quest with him, and then he dies on the backswing. The Hiram is so good because of his willpower. He's resilient. You have probably to attack him twice if you're lucky to remove him, and draws 2 cards, which is a big effect, not just only 1. I don't know. Maybe, but I would say no.
It's a no. Maybe Lucky is a yes. He's a 3 uninkable, 1/3 that quests for 2, and whenever this character quests, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You may reveal any number of puppy characters cards and put them into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck. Maybe it's also just a no. Well, it's cute. I like that they tried to make these puppy decks. Right now it feels more catered towards casual players, but
Yes.
at one day it's like the elves or the goblins in Magic, who knows.
Next is Dawson. Dawson is awesome. He costs 1. It's uninkable, it's a 1/2. He has the ability, once during your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it either on top or on the bottom. We had an item with this card, with this ability, which was so really strong in set 1. Then it fell out, and this card is worse than that. So, no for me.
Now we have a banger. It's the one, the only, the shiny Tamatoa.
It's not the only, right?
No, it's not the only, but it's the one and only, that's what I mean. It's a 6 inkable, 4/5 character, quest for 2. That's already okay. But now listen, when you play this character, return up to 2 items from your discard to your hand. Already great, but it's not finished. It's also, whenever this character quests, you may play an item for free. Which item do you play for free?
It's my lucky dime, also known as numero uno, in foil.
Yes, exactly. Maybe people are crazy and they even play the Steel Chromicon that costs 6 and pings characters for 1 or something like that. I don't know, that's probably more the fun route.
What's the best possible item you could cheat in with this?
I would say it's probably Lucky Dime right now. But again, we said it many times, these kind of cards just get better over time.
Yeah.
The more items you have.
My opinion on this card is it will be probably after the Maui Shark. I think it will be the best card. It's a build around card, but it's really powerful. It's inkable. It has really good stats. It even quests for 2. It has in the right shell an immense value. So do you see this card more in Ruby Sapphire or in Blue Steel or even maybe in Emerald?
I think because you can get 2 items back for the cost of 6, you won't have 2 items in your discard, so that makes it very strong in Blue Steel, I would say, because you have 8 items that draw you 1 card and that you sacrifice or that you banish somehow. It's also considered a fun aspect. If you want to play around with this card, you can also try to use those kind of items that you get some benefit by banishing them, like the Sword of Truth. Banish this item to banish chosen villain character. It's very niche, but there are other ones like the Poisoned Apple. You banish this item to exert chosen character. If a princess character is chosen, banish that character. And there used to be a deck that used these kind of items, and
it was not a good deck. It was interesting, and I think it was even a bigger tournament, right? Well, bigger tournament, I mean like a 200 people tournament.
Yeah, but it was not the most competitive deck, but it was good in the sense that it's interesting and it can win games. And I think Tamatoa is super competitive, but will also find some fun niche uses.
So I think this will be like the most expensive card in the set.
Especially the enchanted one. What's next?
Next we have Hey Hey. Hey Hey is a 5 cost inkable 1/5 shift 3 with resist 1. This card has the ability Clear Your Mind. When you play this character, put all of your cards from your hand into your inkwell face down and exert it. Somehow, this is a really powerful effect. And on the other side, you lose all your resources. So what's the follow-up to this? You just lose because you break? Or you top deck maybe a whole new world and win the game from then on, because you can even sing it. That would be like the most insane case with this card. I'm not quite sure if this card is playable. I think will be a fun card, but not we will not see any competitive play. What do you think?
I did the math.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a 1-cost hey. So best case, let's say first scenario, you're on the play. You have 7 cards. You ink 1, so you have 6. You play hey, you have 5. So you turn again, ink another card, so you have 5 again. And then you play, let's say, Beast Mirror, so you go down to 4. Then it's your turn again. You go back to 5, ink again, down to 4, play hey, shift, and then you can ink 3, and you have a Beast Mirror in play. It ramps you for 3. If you don't play Beast Mirror or any other cards, then you can ramp yourself 4 cards on play, and on the draw it's just 1 more. This sounds very powerful, but you do need a backup plan. One is Dawson is not so awesome in this case, but once during your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, so you at least can check the top card. But there are other cards that do a very similar thing. So we have the one and only Oswald. So whenever you ink, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may reveal the top card. If it's an item, you can play it for free. So you could do it 3 or 4 times, depending on if you're on play or on the draw. That could be powerful, but still not broken. Another one is Chica, but I feel like the same problem as with Dawson. It's just once. The second time you ink something, you draw a card. We're not there yet. If we have more cards that benefit from cards being inked, this might be powerful if they're on 2 or 1. But even then, you need the perfect hand. You need hey on 1, a card that reacts on inking on 2, and then hey, the big hey on 3. So it feels like a little bit of a dreamland. And if you draw this card later, it feels like it has way less impact.
Yeah, and also it's like if this is like the setup scenario, the dream scenario, the god hand profile from this deck. I mean, it's not powerful. Even then, I mean, I'm even playing cards like hey and Beast Mirror, which basically are do nothing cards.
You go from 3 ink to either 6 straight away or 7 straight away, and you have a Beast Mirror in your in play. And then the cards that you have inked with hey, they can be Mufasa, they can be whatever, they can be whole new worlds. So you still have those options. These haymakers, haymakers. You can you would probably also play Fishbone Quill, so you can have all these huge, big uninkables that do crazy stuff, and you just ink them away if you have the hey opening. And if not, you ink hey away and you play those. But it feels like, why not just play those and Fishbone Quill and call it a day?
Yeah, like that. All right, let's move on.
We have Kida. It's a 4 uninkable character, 3/3, and she has, okay, that's ward. Yeah. She has French ward. And also she has an ability where you exert her to look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You put 1 into your inkwell and 1 on top of your deck. Is that good? I think it's good, right?
No.
Why not? She has ward.
Yes, but she has no immediate effect, right? So this could get like Lady Tremaine or...
Lady Tremaine if you have no other card.
Exactly, yes, it could get Be Prepared. You don't get the value out of it exactly. And also, if you just use it once, the word doesn't matter because it could probably going to get... it's basically a ramp 1 and put the other on top. I don't like this effect. I prefer like, if it would be the effect from how far I go, then I would love it.
If the other one would go into your hand.
Into your hand and 1 to your inkwell, then I would love it. But like this...
I have to defend Kida a little bit because we have in this set and also in others, we have a lot of cards that do care about what's on top of your library. This could be one of those cards that you use to figure out what's on top, and you get an extra card. And it's a 3/3 ward, so if you have ways to generate lore quickly, this is hard to remove, and you can quest for 1. So it has and it's a 3/3 body, so it's a bit of a build around, but it can be playable.
All right, next up we have Peppa. Peppa is a 3-cost inkable 2/2 little cute puppy. He has the ability in the nick of time. Whenever one of your puppy characters is banished, you may put that card into your inkwell face down and exert it.
No? Is that the puppy?
Is that the puppy we needed? It's not.
It's not the puppy we needed, but I think it's... Okay, it's not a great card, but hear me out.
Right, cook. I will let you cook.
It is like a huge Grandma Tala, the small one that I saw play in the first set, not much after that. It's just the same thing because it is a puppy and it doesn't say other puppies. It's just when one of your puppies, so it counts itself as well. So it would go into the inkwell. If you have other puppies, they do too. It's more cute than good, but yeah, I guess my case for the puppy didn't go that well. We have Penny the orphan. Oh.
That's where she needs a puppy.
She needs a puppy. She has a teddy bear. She's a clever child. She's 2 inkable as well. 2/1 and quest for 2. Not too bad. And she has, while you have a hero character in play, this character gains ward. Okay, next one.
All right. Next one, we have a 5-cost inkable Lady Clock. Lady Clock is a 2/7 bodyguard and she has ward. She quests for 1. I would always prefer still like Tiempo at this point, even a Pluto, just because of the stats. It doesn't matter if they have ward or not. The stats are like incredible on these 2 bodyguards in these colors.
Yeah, what is better, to have ward or to be 4/7? I think 4/7 is better because the ward helps you against Brawl.
Yeah.
And against Medusa. That's basically it. And being 4 helps against Brawl, against Medusa.
Exactly. And this gets Seasuit.
Oh wow. Yeah, let's move on. That's horrible. We have Jasmine, a 5 uninkable. She's 3/5 and quests for 2. And she has extra assistance. Whenever this character quests, if you have no cards in your hand, draw a card for each ally character you have in play. Ooh, let's look back to Mr. Hey Hey. Is he an ally?
Also, let's just say she is dual color.
But the same colors as Hey Hey, and he's an ally. Okay, meta solved again.
So how many allies are in those colors?
104 allies in blue steel. That's not a complete list, I think, because it's not updated with the new set.
Yeah.
So it's probably a bit more, but more than 100 allies in these colors. Relevant ones are Dawson is awesome. No, just Happy can be relevant.
Chicha.
Yeah, Tipo.
I mean, Noi could work in a deck like this.
Doc.
Dog, obviously.
Mr. Smee.
Yeah.
Lawrence. We have Lawrence. Yeah, it's like
Tinkerbell.
Pluto. So there are a couple of those guys, huh? Hey Hey, obviously. MVP. Tiempo. Cogsworth. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it work. You could make like an ally deck, and Tinkerbell is obviously Tinkerbell. Yeah. It's still, since set 1, still one of the best cards in the game. But we are not here to talk about the Tinkerbell, the giant fairy. We are here to talk about Baymax, because Baymax is a 5-cost inkable 3/5 hero robot Storyborn. He has support, he quests for 1, and has the ability Advanced Scanner. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Floodborn character card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order.
Any order, it's broken. Baymax, I mean, the support is really average.
Yes. Though it can be playable, not broken, though, yet. Yeah. It needs a lot of setup.
To me, it feels like you want to find your Floodborn characters turn 3 or 4, or even turn 2. You want to find them early so you can shift them early. It's 5 inkable. It feels like it's a bit, I mean, it's still relevant, of course. You can find Tinkerbell or Cogsworth, or there are like many great Floodborns that are played, but it just feels like the cool thing for me about Floodborns is that you can play them early. If you want to go the Floodborn route. If you just want to play the card because it's good, like Tinkerbell or Cogsworth, they're almost never shifted. But I really liked when you shift them and that you can sing expensive songs with them, that you can like just do stuff earlier than it's supposed to be, you know, a bit like the Vanish, the Illusion ones. It feels a bit like cheating, and that's why I think I would have loved it if it was maybe worse stats but less ink costs. We have made Marion. It's a 4 inkable 3/3 character, also Sapphire Steel, and she quests for 2. And she has Good Shot. Oh, she learned something from Robin Hood, huh? During an opponent's turn, whenever one of your ally characters is damaged, deal 1 damage to chosen opposing character. And she has Fair Play. It's very important skill in the DLCs. Your character is named Lady Clock, gain resist +1. So there you have your resist for your Lady Clock. It's one of those cards where I think at some point in the future there will be like some combo where you have like this Chiempo and you can ping it all the time and then heal it and destroy everything. But on its own, if you play it fairly, it feels underwhelming.
Yeah, it's like right now there's no real home for this card. All right, next up is a 1 cost uninkable action card, which says, look at the top 4 cards of target player's library.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you put 1 on top and the rest on the bottom. This card is close to being really good. I think at the moment it's a waste of slot to play it. But in some scenarios, like you could play this and lock him out like for 1 turn. So we are often in like top deck scenarios, and then this card would be like a deal breaker. So who could like save you a whole turn?
Okay, yeah, and if you do the top deck manipulation thing where you have benefits, if you know what it is, then obviously you put it on yourself as well.
Exactly, yeah.
With like Bruno, for example.
And we could go back to hey, you play first this, then you put your whole new world on top. You play your hey, and next time you're Gucci. You just win the game afterwards, right?
That might actually be a deck. Yeah. We have All Is Found. It's a 5 inkable action song. And you put up to 2 cards from your discard into your inkwell face down and exert it. First of all, cute artwork. I like the Enchanted as well. And I like the card. It's a song. It's Sapphire, so it's so easy to have 2 cards in your discard. You probably don't want to put items into your inkwell, but you have things like Develop Your Brain or Water Has Memory, things like that. Probably some sort of cantrip or a Tipo or whatever. And so you ramp 2. Of course, it would have to be in a deck where you really have like big haymakers that benefit from this double ramp. Do you like it?
I'm not quite sure yet about the card. I could be wrong. I think it competes with a lot of other good cards already and is not that guaranteed to take full effect. Like, well, you can always ink it, obviously, but often I believe you don't want to put any cards away from your discard, because you lose like I like my Develop Your Brains in my discard because it makes my Maui Shark better. I like the items because I can get it back. I'm not quite sure if I want to mess with my discard. In which deck would you see discard the most?
It could be Blurple, where you have like things like Friends on the other side. You have your Jenabog followers and all those cards. So you have plenty of cards in your
That's a deck where I would see it more than like in Ruby Sapphire or Blue Steel. You're right.
But also maybe, a card like this might suddenly find use in a deck like Sapphire Emerald.
It's a song. Yeah, I mean, because of it's a song, it has more benefits like with the
Muses.
Muses, yes, exactly.
You have benefit with the Muses. You could even be crazy and play the Odie, that whenever you play a song, you can ink the top card from your deck. So you ink 3 in the best case. Maybe in this deck you would also play things like One Jump Ahead, which is also in your in your discard.
Okay, I see it really in the Emerald Sapphire deck. I can see it there. In Purple, I believe I would prefer Donald Duck at the 5 cost because you have a body, quest for 2, it does the ramp. It's not the double ramp, but I think you value the body more and the quest and power. But in a deck like this, the Emerald Sapphire, I can see this card.
You want to have it in a deck where you either benefit from it being a song, but also if you manage to sing it earlier with a flatborn, that it's very difficult because you would want to sing it on 3. And it's really hard to have 2 cards in your discard, have the shift target and the shift and everything. So it's a bit more difficult then, but maybe there's a way.
Let's say ink, 1 drop, right? Then ink, play 2, develop your brains or something like this. And then on 3, you play that. That would be like the Dreamland scenario again, right?
There you go.
There you go.
We broke the card.
Yeah, sure. Okay, next up is Sapphire Coil. It's a 2-cost inkable item with the ability Brilliant Shine. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may give chosen character -2 strength this turn. Oh, Ice Block. What is gonna happen to you right now? Is this card taking over your spot?
The only case against it would be you want to go turn 1 item, turn 2 ramp, turn 3 Hiram. A lot of times, so it is in this awkward spot where you don't want to play it on turn 2. That's probably the only thing against it. What's really good about it, it's inkable and it does -2, and you can even have multiple uses. So if you ink more than 1, you can target 2, then play your C2 or whatever.
But sometimes you just hit another curve. When you don't have the ramp, you have like turn 1, either like a pop or develop your brains or maybe the new bell, and then you play on turn 2 this one, and on turn 3 your Sisu is basically gonna be a hard removal, or your brawl gonna be a hard removal for every opposing characters your opponents can play by this time. So the best, well, maybe you can't kill a 3-drop Sisu, but like a Lawrence, which is a 4/4, you can brawl it.
Brawl it, yeah.
And I think this ability is like really strong. It makes all your red or your ruby mediocre remover better. So I'm kind of excited. I'm definitely going to try this card out.
Verimax charging station, very cute artwork, little robot. They're gonna take over the world, watch out. And it's an item, 3 inkable, and it has energy converter. Whenever you play a flatborn character, if you use shift to play them, you may draw a card. You know who wants this card?
Bucky! What? Huh? It's a Bucky ability, right?
Yeah, well, it's basically the same ability. It's a worse version of the fairy, the blue fairy. It's in Sapphire. I thought about Hey. The thing that annoys me about this card, it costs 3, so you cannot play it on curve with Hey. So that annoys me.
I have to cancel my my Bucky excitement because it does absolutely something different. Let's see this card. That's right. Hey, but I was close though.
Yeah, it's Bucky's sister, Blue Fairy. It's cool. I just would have loved it on 2 because a lot of shift characters, you go turn 1 shift target, turn 2 whatever, and turn 3 you shift it. So this feels very, very awkward for me to have it on 3. That's the only thing that annoys me. And it's also, you have to shift it, so it's more resilient than Blue Fairy, but a worse ability.
Yes. We have Dr. I don't know how to say, Calico. Calico. He looks like a Calico. So, Dr. Calico is a 4-cost inkable character, 3/4, quest for 1 with ability, you are beginning to irk me. While this character has no damage, he gains resist 2. That's it.
So it's kind of the Lawrence Pluto thing where you have a benefit if you don't have damage, and at the same time, if he has no damage, it's harder to put damage on it. But it is just a 3/4 that quests for 1.
I'm just gonna ignore it. But I think it's a really nice design card. I kinda love it. It's not a powerful card, but I like the design of it.
Yeah, it has synergy within its own ability. I think you would play Lawrence over this.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no, four cost, so you would play Pluto over this. We have Tuk Tuk. Did they mess it up again? I mean, the past Tuk Tuks, this one. Oh, but let's see what this one does. It's 2 uninkable, a 0/1 bodyguard, resists +2, and quests for 1. Come on, guys, give Tuk Tuk some love. It's an awesome character, but the card is
meh at best. Sorry, Tuk Tuk. So we have a 3-cost inkable 2/3 Fa Su quest for 1, and that's the ability whenever one of your character challenges another character for the 2nd time in this turn, you gain 3 lore. I think this is quite a powerful ability. I just don't know how many times you can really trigger this. If this card would have like Rush, it would have like the surprise element.
No, but you can play it. You have already 2 characters. You challenge, and you get 3 lore.
Well, okay.
But it feels to me, it always gaining lore with challenging with characters that are already in play feels like not as powerful. Like Shere Khan, for example, did that because you could just quest with them if you really want the lore. You know, whatever they are. You have 2 characters. You play Shere Khan on 3. You challenge, you get 2 lore. With this one, you would gain 3 lore, so it's 1 more lore. But you need to have 2 to get any lore, and it's worse statted. Shere Khan is a 3/3.
So also what you're trying to say is questing is always better than challenging.
No, when I saw Shere Khan for the first time, I thought, oh wow, so you can get a lot of lore, but you need good challenges. So and if you use a character to challenge that could generate 2 lore, then it's already worse. With this one, not necessarily. If you have 2 characters that just generate 1 lore each, then you go +1. But as soon as they are like Lawrence or whatever, then you might just want to quest instead.
So do you prefer this Fasu or the Shere Khan?
I think Shere Khan is better, but still not playable.
Even though in the new Mushu Ruby Steel deck, which is based on challenging.
You know why I don't think it's that great is because what you said, it's not surprising lore. It doesn't catch you off guard. Compare it to Super Goof, where you generate 2 lore out of nothing that was not expected. With these, you don't, because you forfeit the questing. You just get the benefit of being able to challenge and still get lore, but it's not extra lore. Except for this one, maybe 1 extra lore. If your opponent calculated how much can you generate, then you have 1 extra. With Shere Khan, you have 0 extra because you could have quested instead.
Yeah.
And that's why I prefer cards like Goofy or like the Goat or whatever, where you generate actual extra lore out of nothing that your opponent didn't calculate.
All right, let's move on.
We have Jafar, 3 inkable, 3/2, and he has That's Better. When you play this character, chosen character gains Challenger 2 this turn, and he quests for 2.
The worst crap?
The worst crap? Worst metal crap?
Even quest for 2?
He quests for 2. It's a different color, so maybe you don't have access to the crab, or you want him as a shift target for the big Jafar.
All right, next up we have Mulan. Mulan is a 1-cost inkable 2/1 storyborn hero princess. Quests for 1 and has the ability Where Did I Sign In? When you play this character, you may draw a card and choose discard a card.
So this is
Simba.
But it's a Mulan, which is kind of relevant.
Yeah.
That's why I put her there. It's another 1-cost Mulan. We already had one, the ruby one, and now we have a steel one. If you want to shift Mulans, it's a good target. The ability can be very relevant if you want to be greedy with the uninkables, or if you just want to filter your deck to get to your cards that are really good for this matchup, your tech cards. I also kind of like the fact that it's 2/1, because the 1/2 of Simba always felt like he cannot banish anything.
Yeah.
He cannot banish anything.
And Diablo.
Yeah, exactly. Diablo or Chernabog's follower, which is irrelevant, but this one can banish a little more. Next up, we have Aladdin, a 4 uninkable 2/4 storyborn hero, and he quests for 2. And he has Helping Hand. Whenever this character quests, you may play an ally character with cost 3 or less for free. And put in the effort. While this character is exerted, your ally characters get +1 strength.
So maybe allies is gonna be a thing after all. This card fits right into this shell, right? I still don't like the card, to be honest, but...
So what are the best allies? He's a steel card, so let's...
First, the best ally is still Tinkerbell.
No. That costs 3 or less. Lawrence is a great one. Smee, Doc, the usual suspects, huh?
Yes.
That's probably the best you get in steel. If you look at other colors...
Diablo.
You sneak in the Diablo, there you go. And it's on quest. Let's move on.
Next up, we have Bagheera. And I believe that's the first Bagheera we got, right? So Bagheera is a 5-cost inkable 4/3 storyborn ally bodyguard. Quest for 2. And he has the ability, you've got to be brave. During your opponent's turn, when this character is banished, deal 2 damage to each opposing character.
So it is grab your sword
On a stick.
There you go.
What destroys this effect, it has to be on opponent's turn. So basically, okay, he's never going to challenge it on his turn or kill it on his turn. He's just going to ignore it, just to not lose his...
Well, but that's why it has bodyguard and a quest for 2, because you can only ignore it for so long. I think it's strong enough, questing for 2 and protecting your other characters that you cannot...
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The bodyguard effect does its job here. Mm-hmm. Cool design.
Yeah, I like.
Good job.
Okay, this is a crazy one. We have Gantu, a 4 uninkable 2/4 that quests for 1. The storyborn alien captain. Captain is relevant. He has close all channels. When you play this character, characters can't exert to sing songs until the start of your next turn. And don't get any ideas. Each player pays 2 more to play actions or items, but this doesn't apply to singing songs. So this, to me, feels like the design team changed it a lot of times. They tried, they had like a concept, they did something, they said, oh, that's too strong, then they changed it slightly, then they said, oh, that's too weak, let's put items in the mix as well. But it feels a bit all over the place, but it also feels like it could see play. So you play 2 more for every item you play, so your popsicles cost 3. Fortisphere costs 3. Yeah, well, you can do the math. You can add 2 to whatever the cost is, and the same with actions. So when you play a song without singing it, it's also applied. So it only doesn't apply when you sing the song, and it also applies to your stuff. So do you want to play it in blue steel? Probably not. This is probably more a card for a steel song where you intend to sing the songs, so you're not affected by it. It's like a very taxing card.
Yes.
I'm glad it's uninkable.
I'm excited about this mechanics and where it will go along in Lorcana. It's definitely a good card, definitely. So it will mess up some turns.
Against which deck is it the best?
Sapphire decks, obviously. Those who play items and a lot of actions. Maybe this is the card that Steel Song needed to gain again the edge over this matchup.
Is it good against this card?
Yes, also.
Don't forget it's a captain as well. They added enough little benefits and things to it that I think it can see a lot of play.
Next up, we have Mickey Mouse. 2 cost, uninkable, 1/1 Dreamborn hero, which quests for 1. He has the ability, during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play a character for free.
They really gave him a lot of strength there to do his job, huh?
His job, yes. I mean, this card has like a really high ceiling. But opponent, what are you doing if you're like allowing this to happen? Like, don't risk it. Don't quest with your broom and leave it like there. No, the broom would actually like survive.
So like the first card to compare it to is obviously another Mickey Mouse from set 3.
I believe this is straight better.
The old one is better.
Yes.
This one, you would probably want to play it in a deck where you can either exert your opponent's characters or you can challenge ready characters. Otherwise, it makes no sense.
And yes, you have to be able to banish them as well, right?
If you play, let's say, Amethyst, you can pump it up with like a Merlin.
And then you still need to have like a good character in your hand to make like a good use of this ability.
Yeah. So what's the best character to cheat in?
In those colors?
In any color really. In
Any color.
the most expensive would be the old Chernobog, but then it's just goofy. 9 inkable. Do you want to do that?
No, maybe Cinderella, the big Cinderella.
The dragon, of course. It just feels... They're trying. They didn't get it right yet.
So next up we got
an action, a 5 uninkable action, restoring Atlantis. Your characters can't be challenged until the start of your...
That's the card we need to be safe for Mickey. How you like this card?
It feels like, okay, you wanna have a lot of characters that quest.
Yes.
There's a deck, Diggy Diggy Hole,
Yeah.
where you have a lot of characters that quest, that has steel in it. Decks like that probably like this card. If it's too early, you might even discard it with Dock or whatever. It can be very
Powerful. Yes. It's like, it feels like a card that plays, it kind of reminds me also of Pete when I'm about to hit my Be Prepared and he just beats me 3 times in a row. The tears are rolling down.
Yeah.
And you know how it feels to get repeated and repeated.
Yeah, and with this one, with this one, it's like you don't have your Be Prepared, but you have Scar, and you're just waiting for him to quest.
Or my Maui charge, you're like, can I attack? And they said no.
No, you banish the broom. Okay, what's next? Yeah, we have the Steel Coil. It's a 2 uninkable item, and it has Metallic Flow. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you may draw a card, then choose and discard the card. What do you think about this card in general?
I kind of like filter cards, Small Simba and the Cinderella. Yeah, exactly. So it's not bad. It's like free filtering of your cards. You want to ink anyways, and your copies of like whole new world, you can discard it, and so you can like value from them. But would I play it though? No, I don't think I will play it, because
you would probably play the characters that do the same things over it.
Yeah, most of the time for sure. I think this card could be like a good limited card.
We only have 3 more. What's the next one?
The next one is a 3-cost Orville 4/3 Storyborn ally, quest for 1, and has the ability Welcome Aboard, folks. During your turn, while you have a character named Miss Bianca or Bernard in play, this character gets evasive.
Oh, why is it on the list? That should be on the boring list.
That should be on the boring list.
We have Miss Bianca next up. 6 inkable, 5/5 that quests for 1, and she has an ability. If you have an ally in play, you pay 2 less for it. So it costs 4, is 5/5, and quests for 1. Still, for 5, like a vanilla 5 cost inkable is 5/5 and quests for 2. So even with the discount, it's not great.
No, it's not. We can move on.
Last card.
The last card of the day, or of our list, it's a 2-cost inkable action card, Double Trouble. Choose up to 2 characters and deal to each one 1 damage.
So this is very comparable
Twin Fire.
Fire the Cannon, obviously, which is just 2 damage on 1 character. We have Baboom, which is 2 damage to a character or a location for 2 costs. So that's probably most comparable to Baboom, which is also just an action, 2 inkable. Which one would you rather play? Baboom doesn't see play that much at the moment.
It still sees some play, but not
that much.
Because there's no more pesky Diablos running around.
Which one is better?
It's a really meta dependent. So if there's like a lot of merfolks and a small maleficent running around, I would
Chernobog follow.
and Chernobog's follow.
Diablos.
Yeah, I would prefer to have maybe this ability.
Will it see play?
I believe it will see play depending on the meta. So most of the time at the start of a new meta, the decks tends to be more aggressive. So I could see it in the beginning to be played. If it's bad, you just ink it anyways. When this card is good, it's like really good, right? I mean, imagine killing 2 merfolks. You don't discard a card, you get value. It's a
Good old 2 for 1.
yes, but it could be also like in some matchups it does nothing, so it goes straight to the ink.
Okay, the question of the day: which one is your favorite card and why? So we have two questions. Which one is your favorite card and why? And which one is the strongest card? Okay, favorite card?
Maui Half Shark. Maui...
No, from this set.
It was a joke, obviously it was a joke. So from this set, the card I liked most, flavor-wise, would be Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge McDuck, I like the ability to maybe cheat him in for free. I think he has an amazing stats. I was always the same for Skull. I want always to make him good, but I couldn't. So I believe now I have an upgrade version of it, and that's why I kind of love the card. And the most powerful to me, Tamatoa.
One of my favorite cards, at least, is the new Bell, the 3-cost Bell, 3/3, and during your turn you may banish a chosen item of yours to play this character for free. I like cheating. No, that's wrong. I like legally cheat. No, that's also wrong. I like to get a discount. There we go. I'm cheap. And and also I really like the character Bell. I'm not saying it's the strongest one, but I just like these many possibilities you have when you get this early tempo with this one. I really like the design. I don't think it's overpowered.
We're gonna see.
But it might be actually, yeah.
It might be.
Because 3-cost songs will just get better. The strongest card of this set, I have to give it to Tamatoa, probably. It feels like Sapphire got a lot of new tools, very strong cards, more so than other ones.
Yes, and I'm a little bit concerned. I'm a Sapphire player by heart, always have been, and I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, I'm concerned about like it will probably push out a lot of decks, and you probably will be forced to play Sapphire somehow. Like it's maybe with Ruby, Steel, or
Emerald,
Amethyst or Emerald. But I think this will be the color to go. So Amethyst will be probably kicked out of his throne finally, because it been like too long on that. We could have there was a time we could have played like mono Amethyst, and it would have been like that bad.
I think in set 6 you could have played mono Amethyst almost. Yeah.
And now I believe it's beginning to shift.
It feels like Sapphire could be at this point that it's so strong that you can just combine it with any other ink color. And what ink combination are you most excited about to build a deck?
Ruby Sapphire and Blue Steel. I mean, look at this way. I know
that sounds very exciting. Tell me more about it.
It will be a completely different type of deck that's already up. I mean, if you want to...
Yeah, you play 2 sharks instead of 3.
No, I mean, if you want to like play 12 new cards in it, at least, even more, you have to build around the deck, because 40 cards are already like the base.
It's very exciting, yeah.
It's really exciting. How will this... In which direction will it go? In my first week, I'm gonna build a Blue Steel deck.
I'm gonna build a blue.
Because I believe it's better against aggressive strategies, and you can build it more like stable with a lower ground. You can have like a better curve and more interactions. It's less powerful than a Ruby Sapphire, but I think still quite powerful that you have, if you can manage a win against those decks. But overall, you will be.
So here's my what I'm excited about.
Ruby Emerald.
Ruby Emerald?
Yes.
No. Amethyst Emerald, but not the temple version, but more control version of it. That's something I wanted. That's something I tried in the past. I have some decks that I'm working on. One of them is okay. I'm gonna tell it. It's a discard deck, okay, but doesn't mean it's.
It's fun to play, guys.
It doesn't mean people are gonna hate me, right? Maybe. And the other one is Ruby Steel. Is also a deck I always try to make it work, but I think this time we have a lot of new tools. Yeah, these are probably the ones I'm very excited about. I like the underdogs, you know. Yeah, that's new set. I'm excited. Let's go build some decks.
Yes.
Thank you for watching, for listening. See you guys next time.
Bye. See ya.